face. I give you filth wrapped in grace. You love that edge, that voice, that bite. Beg for the dark, not the candlelight. So turn around, hands to the floor. Good girls take it and then one more. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this. You know that line you always miss. No slow, no safe, just grip and go. You lose yourself when I take control. STFUATTDLAGG. Tattoo it deep where you feel me breathe. You don't need words, just this beat and me. Shut the fuck up and take it like the freak you want to be. Don't talk, don't ask, just open up and take what you've been begging for. You follow orders, I deliver pressure. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this D. One more thrust, one more cry. You want it real, now feel me inside. STFUATTDLAGG. No goodbyes, just grip and repeat. So hush, baby girl, don't lose your streak. Shut the fuck up and take it like you're weak. Run that mouth, but I see the need. Body talking louder than what you plead. You like rough hands and a voice that growls. You ain't innocent, you crave it foul. Don't play shy when you drop that text. Come through, girl, you know what's next. Wanna look down and your knees go weak. Say let's bite hard, don't you dare speak. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this. You know the rest, no need to guess. I lead you more, no time to beg. Back arched up with a grip on your leg. STFUATTDLAGG. You know the drill, be a good girl for me. No talking, no fuss, just that deep, deep please. Shut the fuck up and take it like you need. I don't ask twice, I don't do nice. Cheek onto me for that heat, that vice. Choke on rhythm, ride that bass. I give you filth wrapped in grace. You love that edge, that voice, that bite. Beg for the dark, not the candlelight. So turn around, hands to the floor. Good girls take it and then one more. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this. You know that line you always miss. No slow, no safe, just grip and go. You lose yourself when I take control. STFUATTDLAGG. Tattoo it deep where you feel me breathe. You don't need words, just this beat and me. Shut the fuck up and take it like the freak you want to be. Don't talk, don't ask, just open up and take what you've been begging for. You follow orders, I deliver pressure. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this D. One more thrust, one more cry. You want it real, now feel me inside. STFUATTDLAGG. No goodbyes, just grip and repeat. So hush, baby girl, don't lose your streak. Shut the fuck up and take it like you're weak. Run that mouth, but I see the need. Body talking louder than what you plead. You like rough hands and a voice that growls. You ain't innocent, you crave it foul. Don't play shy when you drop that that text come through, girl, you know what's next. Wanna look down and your knees go weak. Say less, bite hard, don't you dare speak. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this. You know the rest, no need to guess. I lead you more, no time to beg. Back arched up with a grip on your leg. STFUATTDLAGG. You know the drill, be a good girl for me. No talking, no fuss, just that deep, deep please. Shut the fuck up and take it like you need. I don't ask twice, I don't do nice. Choke onto me for that heat, that vice. Choke on rhythm, ride that bass. I give you filth wrapped in grace. You love that edge, that voice, that bite. Beg for the dark, not the candlelight. So turn around, hands to the floor. Good girls take it and then one more. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this. You know that line you always miss. No slow, no safe, just grip and go. You lose yourself when I take control. STFUATTDLAGG. Tattoo it deep where you feel me breathe. You don't need words, just this beat and me. Shut the fuck up and take it like the freak you want to be. Don't talk, don't ask. Just open up and take what you've been begging for. You follow orders, I deliver pressure. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this D. One more thrust, one more cry. You want it real, now feel me inside. STFUATTDLAGG. No goodbyes, just grip and repeat. So hush, baby girl, don't lose your streak. Shut the fuck up and take it like you're weak. Run that mouth, but I see the need. Body talking louder than what you plead. You like rough hands and a voice that growls. You ain't innocent, you crave it foul. Don't play shy when you drop that text come through, girl, you know what's next. Wanna look down and your knees go weak. Say less, bite hard, don't you dare speak. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this. You know the rest, no need to guess. I lead you more, no time to beg. Back arched up with a grip on your leg. STFUATTDLAGG. You know the drill, be a good girl for me. No talking, no fuss, just that deep, deep please. Shut the fuck up and take it like you need. I don't ask twice, I don't do nice. Choke onto me for that heat, that vice. Choke on rhythm, ride that bass. I give you filth wrapped in grace. You love that edge, that voice, that bite. Beg for the dark, not the candlelight. So turn around, hands to the floor. Good girls take it and then one more. STFUATTDLAGG. Shut the fuck up and take this. You know that line you are.
What's up, everybody? My camera, now it's blurry. Jesus Christ. There she is.
Hi.
Girlfriend.
Nothing. What are you doing? Your camera's blurry.
I know, but I don't know why. Oh my God.
It'll do it.
Yeah.
Will it fix itself?
Hold on. Let me see.
You messed with it. Oh, there you go.
Hi.
Hi. We both got our
How
glasses
much
on.
better? Yeah. What's
I
up?
got my big armchair. Just like chilling.
You have your what?
I got my big old armchair.
I need an armchair.
Nice and comfortable. in front of the fireplace. There's no fire though. It's really windy. It's probably dangerous.
Well, it's rained here all day, like literally all day. And
It doesn't rain here.
I had big plans. I started out, I went to the grocery store today and I bought the ingredients for fake blood. And they're all the ingredients are downstairs, but it just, I mean, it literally was thundering and lightning and pouring. And I was like, okay, I don't want to waste this and go out and it get messed up. And, you know, of course,
So like I went to Indiana once when I was a kid, and that was like the one thing I remember was because we have thunderstorms here, but not like you guys have them. And I remember the lightning was so loud, and then the thunder was like right afterwards. And I remember it was nighttime. I was so scared.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take an earthquake.
Well, the weather here is freaking nuts. I mean, we have gone from 50 degrees to 80 degrees to 2 days of 75, and then wind storms. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of the wind storms that came through that knocked down, which I can't complain because it was the bastard of the yard that it wasn't inside our backyard. It was like on the outside of the fence, but it kept the sun from shining after like 3 p.m. It was the pine tree where all of the little, what do you call them? Needles and shit just fell into the pool. So I wasn't sad to see it go. It just so happened that it fell in our yard and destroyed the backside of the pool and the fence, but it is what it is. It's taken care of now. It's over with. So,
and it's gone. So you don't have to deal with pine needles all summer.
Exactly. And we just filled up the pool the other day. It's early, but I wanted to make sure that all of the pump lines worked, the sand filter worked, and we didn't have any leaks. We have new siding and new liner. We had a new liner put in. So
what do you do with your pool during the winter? Do you just drain it? Like, does it, because water expands, right? Like if you kept your water in your pool,
oh no,
would it freeze and break the concrete? Yeah.
So we don't have
do that.
We have an above ground. We have an above ground pool because our yard in easements, we have a nice size yard, and you would think, oh my God, you could have an in-ground pool. No, because there's easements. We have easements for the water lines, the electrical lines, and then there's also a reserve on the other side of our fence. Now, like if we wanted to really be assholes and fight with the city, there's probably, I don't know, 100 feet from the back side of our fence to the next property line. Mm-hmm. So no one claims that reserve, but we cut it, we maintain it. But there's sewage lines, whatever. We're just not able to dig. It wouldn't be for the size of the in-ground pool that we would want. We don't have dimensions in the yard to put one in. So for the above ground pool, we have to drain it.
Every year?
Yes, we drain it. So in the fall, we have to drain it. We have a pump and we have a whole system that we put in that drains it out into the reserve. So we drain the water. And so where we have our pump, like our filter is probably, the pool is 52 inches high. We drain it down to about half that. And throughout the process, we have to empty our lines, and then we put in the remaining water that's left in the pool, a winterizing set of chemicals that prevent the water from freezing. And we remove the pump system and the filtration system, and we store that over the winter. And the water that's at the bottom of the pool is probably about 2.5 feet high. Just to keep the structure stabilized, we keep it covered. And then in the spring, it thaws out, and We drain it. Once we know that the freezing time is past, we drain that and we refill. We refill it. So
We use our pool all year round. In December, we don't really use it a lot because it's cold. But then that's like when my boyfriend does all like the like deep shocks and like all of the stuff. But
let me just say hi really quick to a couple of really
hi,
important.
everybody.
Let's just say Mother Dragons, Michelle, Karen, Andy Kopsa. Hey, girl, I got your message. I responded. Just let me know. All I'm going to like next week, I have to work. I hate being.
I'm off of work right now.
Yeah. And here.
But I might take a job. A headhunter called me. And I turned in all my OSHA paperwork and stuff, but they need medics in the desert for gas. What?
What's a headhunter? I mean that
the one who looks for people who have qualifications for a certain job that they're having a hard time filling. Like they need medics for this oil and gas pipeline that goes from Bakersfield to Barstow. But it goes like right through Death Valley and stuff. And like most people take the summer off, like that's the off season. So they offer medics a bunch of money to come in and do the pipeline over the summer. So I'm thinking about doing, because then by the time the summer is over is when the hearing will be, and you'll be recuperating, and that will be like towards the end of the contract. And usually before I sign a new contract, I take like a month or two off. So I don't know. We'll see.
I can open it. Okay. Or you want me to close it? Okay.
But I don't know. I wanted to have a summer break. I was like looking forward to it. But I also like money. I like it a lot.
You know what? Okay, let me continue really quick going through the chat. Rizzo. Rizzo, I love you, girl.
My ADHD is contagious, man.
All of you in the chat right now, I love you so much. And I know we're slow getting started. We're slow getting into Delphi conversations, but you know, sometimes it's nice to, I think it's really nice for everybody who's in the chat and everybody who subscribes and follows the channels to know like the personalities behind the channels, because I feel like that's, you know, a decision-making process that you guys have. Like, I like this channel because, not just because of the coverage, but because you like the person. So we're just kind of being tonight, like a little bit raw, a little bit real, and just
we go wild out tonight. No, I'm
just talking about real life shit. And I'm so grateful for all of you being here. I see so many familiar faces and I love it. Oh, thank you.
Hi, Travis.
Tom. Is Travis in here?
Travis is in here. Travis is a rock.
My Travis? Like attorney
Travis Esquire Williams.
Oh, hi, Travis. So I messaged Travis the other day.
Look at my Rainbow Bright cup.
Don't ever show that again. It reminds me of, so I found this video today just for a funny. So my granddaughter is absolutely, everybody's granddaughter is the smartest, but my granddaughter is the smartest. And she carries around with her figurines, like little teeny tiny figurines of all of her favorite characters of shows. Mm-hmm. And her number one is Elmo. And like the family has all bought her numerous, like the plush toy Elmo, because for the first year of her life, this thing could not leave her side. So my daughter Kaylee couldn't even take it away and wash it without her having a complete meltdown. But now she's moved on to, she still loves her Elmo. Elmo is with her always, but now she's moved on to Stitch. And I'm like, okay, why do you like Stitch? Because Stitch to me is an older child mythology. Like when I watch Stitch and Lilo, I'm like, what is it that you like about Stitch? But
It's always
Lyndon,
amazing. It's always something like it's just. I remember when I was a little kid, I liked Cinderella, and you know what I realized when I was older, I liked about it, the fucking headband and choker. Like, you know what I mean? You know,
Lyndon is completely obsessed with, she gets obsessed with characters. And then today I came across this video of a real life Sesame Street video that I'd never seen before in like the adult category, where Elmo is doing dishes and he's going, fuck you, I'm tired of cleaning up after you. And I'm like, oh my God. I was gonna send it to my daughter, but she would probably respond like, Mom, don't you ever send me this. But yeah, so there's so many different things about
I have a funny Elmo story. You remember when those Tickle Me Elmos came out, where they like get down on the ground and they like move and they like vibrate and they're laughing? So my girls were young when those came out. So we ran to the store and we waited in line, like straight up, like beating up other parents. We doubled up on each kid for them. So we have 4. We gave it to Emma and Madison for Christmas. Madison was cool because Madison's normal. I put that thing next to Emma.
Is normal.
Emma's always, I love her. She's my quirky little girl. You never know. You never know with that one. And so we put it next to her, and she was like 2. I remember she's sitting there, and we put it on like the hardwood floor, so it was even louder and like more intense. And she lost her shit. And to this day, she's terrified of Elmo. And I was like, man, I'm sorry. And she was so, because it like laughed and it moved and it like, I remember the part she hated is when it like bent over and then actually like laid down. She was just like, get this voodoo shit away from me. Like,
oh my God. Lyndon is like, okay, Lyndon is, first of all, like, normally kids like things that are different. I guess that's my opinion. Like my kids were. I have 3 kids. And, you know, anytime my mom came over, my kids were like, go away, Mom. Meemaw's here. Go away, Mom. Meemaw's here. Lyndon, now my grandson, Kai, is different. But Lyndon is like, go away, Mimi. I'm Mimi. Go away, Mimi. We don't want nothing to do with you. But my kids were always like, Meemaw's here. And I was like, yay, Meemaw's here. So anyway, there's so many different things that going into I'm talking about my oldest daughter, Kaylee, who both my girls grew up in my gym. They both really technically had no life outside of going to school and being in the gym. They're
cheerleaders, right? I know they're cheerleaders. I just wanted everybody else to know.
Yeah, I hate the word cheerleaders because it's not
enthusiastic athletes.
No. Okay, so a lot of like, and it's never been able to evolve into what it really was, like, you know, all-star cheer, gymnastics. You know, when I was growing up, when I was growing my business, I mean, we were in the middle. I don't want to say we. I'm going to say I was under the umbrella of all-star gyms that were under the enigma of the lawsuit that the Gymnastics Corporation had filed against the USASF, which was the United States All-Star Federation, to secure the definitive separation between gymnasts and all-star cheer. But anyway, my girls grew up in the gym. They had no, you know, their weekends weren't, you know, normal kid weekends, especially in high school. They were in the gym practicing tumbling, working routines, working skills, and which at this point in time in life, I'm grateful for, because I look at, like, don't get me wrong, I love my stepdaughter, but she is completely, she's my stepdaughter, meaning I'm not her biological mother. So I only have so much say, and I can only express my concerns so far, until they meet like a brick wall. And I'm grateful for the fact that between 2007 and 2016, my girls were under a enclosure of, security,
Discipline. Yeah. There's a
secure,
lot of discipline and
inclusion. Their priorities were.
You went dark.
I see. Hold on.
I got a big picture window here, so. But it's distracting because everybody's coming back from the arena, so I can see all the horses coming in.
Hold on.
I see your beer.
No, that from the other day. Yeah, I have a beer right now, but hold on.
I want a beer.
Hold on. I have to unplug this and plug it back in.
I've got beer. Maybe I should drink a beer. I don't know. I just had surgery. I probably shouldn't drink beer.
Yeah, Mike just brought this up because he just got here. He just got home from picking her up from ballet. And he just brought it up, but I haven't even drank it yet. So, anywho, here I am. So anyway, I was grateful. I was grateful
because we're both drunks.
Are we? I mean, I wish I was. I wish I was.
I wish I could be
here. Huh?
If I was a drunk, do you think I'd look this fucking good? Bitches, no.
If I drink a whole beer, first of all, I feel like a bloated cow. Number one. Yeah. Number two, I wake up the next day and I feel like my body doesn't work. I've never been able to do,
if I want to alter my mind in any way, I just eat a gummy.
Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that.
It's so wonderful. Well, because so when you eat gummies, it's different than when you like inhale, get THC through inhalation, because then the THC goes like directly into your bloodstream through your lungs. When you eat a gummy, the THC goes into your system through your liver, and in your liver it has a slight molecular change and turns it into a different compound altogether. And it's a different high. It's like more of like a body high. You don't get like the paranoia and stuff because it doesn't go directly into your bloodstream.
So you say.
That's all I don't know. I hear people, you would be amazed as a first responder how many people call you to their house because they ate a gummy and they're like tripping fucking hard and you're like, dude, you're fine.
So
I'm dying. No, you're just really fucking high right now.
Yeah. So, well, beer is still sitting here. He brought it in 2 minutes ago. I haven't drank any of it. It's a Bud Light.
We bought Pacificos. I'm thinking maybe I should go get a Pacifico. But like you said, it makes me feel so bloated. I'll just eat a gummy.
Well, it's not that I don't like beer. It's just, I don't, it makes me feel bloated, and God forbid, I wake up and
drink beer.
I don't like feeling bloated. I don't like feeling bloated.
I like beer during rodeo because rodeo here is during the summer. And so the nights are still like 80, 90 degrees. So like a nice cold beer on a rodeo night is.
Rizzo says then burp. Shut up. I'm not going to burp ever. Good Lord. So do you attend the rodeos, Streets?
Yeah, it's a big thing here. We do a lot. Like we attend a lot of things because a lot of like we house a lot of horses for these events. You know what I mean? Our girls ride. The girls who, I mean, we don't have like a team or anything, but we're like, so there's Pursley Ranch down the road, and they suck, and they don't treat their horses very well, and they never place very well. My barn, we don't have like a specific event or anything. We just have our girls perform in a lot of the rodeo events, barrel racing, stuff like that. And so we go, and then we also like we have a thing called Gymkhana. We go to that. We donate. We just go. It's fun. It's fun.
Sounds fun.
It is fun. You have to come out for rodeo sometime.
I'm coming. If I'm
I know,
coming.
but October we still have.
I'm coming.
It's not here.
I'm coming. Period. Point blank. I'm coming. But first, we are going to Delphi.
I'm going to be there for the hearing.
Okay.
I'm coming out twice if I have to.
I have everything mapped out. I'm working on some things behind the scenes, but I have everything mapped out that I'm going to send you and Shaboogies. And
even if I just come out on like Sunday,
no,
and then stay for the hearing.
No.
I'm talking about just for the hearing.
No, we're not talking about dates or times, but I have it mapped out, and you're going to have plenty of time.
I'm talking about okay.
You're going to have plenty of time to plan. So, what are we talking about tonight? What are we going to talk about tonight?
Well, I mean, we were talking about earlier this morning Paladinos because of stuff that's happened this week, but I don't know. Whatever you want to talk about. We'll keep the ratchet for my channel. It's getting hot.
I'm gonna tell you what. Like I told you today, I wake up in the morning and I read your X account and I'm like, this bitch
I got a bee in my bonnet. And
dying.
Like for me, it's
dying.
I feel like I'm helping someone else, so it may seem petty and immature, but in my mind, like I'm doing a service to a community.
Which community?
There's like a bunch of them. Like a bunch of them have been terrorized, and like I know they're watching. I mean, I've gotten tons of messages. People are watching and they're hearing and like coming to me about it. So, I mean, it's making a little bit of an impact. I mean, I have like 140 subscribers, and like I never want to be like a big. I don't have the time or the patience to
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Shut your face. Yes, you do.
But I mean, I'm not trying to like there's things I want to do. Like, so I have a friend who was killed in Oregon in a thrill kill, one of my really good friends. And it was really sad. And then she had a boyfriend who was on crystal meth. And when she died, he like got a hold of Clive Davis, who is like one of those like Illuminati people on like internet radio. And like convinced Clive Lewis, I forget which one, that like
I think you're right, Clive Davis. That name sounds familiar to me.
And he convinced him that like because Tiffany's father had a PhD and he was literally a rocket scientist. He worked at Los Alamos, and he had like the conspiracy community convinced that this was like but like I've talked to the dude, like I know him. And it was a thrill kill. Like he came up to Oregon, to Portland from San Francisco to buy a gun, and they got really drunk, and they picked up Tiffany in a bar and took her out to a park and shot her in the head only because they were drunk and they wanted to know what it was like to shoot someone. So it was really, but he is up for parole. So I'm probably going to cover some of that because I don't know how I feel about him. Like I love Tiffany. I really did. But her dad got brain cancer and died. And she had like 4 degrees and a PhD, and she ran like the Columbia Dam system. And when her father passed away, it devastated her, and she started drinking, and like drinking hard, and just like hanging out with these weird dudes and dating this fucking tweaker guy. And just like complete, you know what I mean? Like some people just handle grief very oddly. And I was watching
No,
it.
I get that. I totally get that. I
I
totally
was
get
watching it from afar because I knew Tiffany when I lived in Portland. We were really good friends. We hung out together. We lived together for a little while. And I just to watch it happen was really sad. And then when she, when we got the word that she had been, found dead in a park, it was it's really sad. It was just like because you saw it coming, and you knew it was probably going to happen. You just didn't know how or when. And then when it did happen, and then it happened in the way that it happened, it was really sad. And then to watch her boyfriend go, which is probably one of the reasons why I have a problem with the person. I have a problem with doing the things that she does, because I watched someone do it to one of my really good friends, just like dance on her grave for some like internet clout. You know what I mean? So, but he's coming up for parole, but I do contact him. We talk to each other, and like he's explained to me exactly what happened, and he told the court exactly what happened. He went to prison, and I want him to pay for what he did, but I also like have empathy in my heart for people doing stupid shit when they're young. You know what I mean? And like I love Tiffany. I loved her dearly, but like she wasn't like a blameless victim. You know what I mean? Like she was drunk. She put herself in a car with a bunch of men.
Really quick, I want to address something in the chat. Hey, Tom, my man. I'm not going to speak on it publicly, but if you want insider information, email me and I will break it down for you. Period. Okay.
I don't even see it.
No, just keep going. Go ahead. But
yeah, so that happened, and his parole is coming up. So, and I don't know how I feel about it. Part of me wants him to rot in prison for the rest of his life, and another part of me understands that he was a kid who made a devastating mistake, and I know that it weighs heavy on his soul every day. You know what I mean? I know he sees Tiffany's face when he goes to sleep at night. So I don't know how I feel about it. So I'm going to talk about it, but I don't really want to be a Delphi, because you do Delphi and you do a really good job at it. And most of the stuff that I know, I get from you, you know what I mean? Besides what I knew from before. So I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot of Delphi. I might do some ratchet ass Delphi shit. But like,
I do Delphi. And it eats at me, to be honest. And I know we were talking about third-party suspects today. And every time I turn around, there's a different suspect, and people have different theories. And I don't want to discourage anybody from digging. Stephanie, I don't know where Shaboogies is. She might be at home or at work. I'm not sure. She's around.
She's probably catching up on her reality TV for the week.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Shaboogies is. But I like, okay, so I don't even know how to explain this. So way years ago, and I say years ago when I am talking about like right at the beginning of COVID, I had just started following a case and I had no channel at the time. Yeah, Keith. Yeah, there's a shit ton of Columbus cases, not just Columbus cases, but Ohio cases.
Isn't that where that Castro dude was? That kidnapped those girls, Amanda Berry or something? Or was that
Yeah,
Cleveland?
yes, that was in Cleveland. But since then, we've had a lot of shit go down.
You guys
And
had a lot of ghosts there. When I come see you eventually
ghosts?
someday, like I'm gonna
Did
make
you
you
say ghosts?
on a
We had
night of
ghosts.
ghost hunting. Columbus is like one of the most haunted cities in America. When I go there, I'm gonna make you do some like woo-woo shit and go ghost hunting with me.
Okay,
There's a hospital I want to check out.
I'm down. I'll do it.
Let's fucking do it, bitch.
So I was covering another case, and this was like all during COVID when, like, literally I was cleaning and Windexing and cleaning bathrooms and cleaning patio. I was doing all kinds of crazy shit because at the time I wasn't working because it was COVID, and Delphi happened, and I was following this other case, and then I started covering Delphi. And in 2019 is when the Young Bridge Guy sketch came out, and I'm like, that's Garrett Kurtz.
I will admit I thought the same thing. Yeah. I
19, I thought it was fucking Garrett Kurtz they were talking about.
Because then they started talking about the shack and stuff too. Doug
Yeah.
Kurtz.
And at the same time, the FBI and ISP was going to Newton County and interviewing him. And then the whole Open Secrets channel started. So I was listening, but I wasn't reaching out to him. And over time, I was like, okay, we have all this information from all of these people involved, but the one person that we haven't heard from was
Mr. Kurtz.
No.
Oh.
Ashley Garth.
Yeah.
So I contacted Ashley, and she was really kind of aggressive with me. Like, I'm fucking innocent and no one's willing to listen. And all I can say is that the response that I got from her when I initially contacted her made me feel fucking bad. Like, I really felt bad. Like, really? Like, I know that innocent people can be convicted, and I know that innocent people sometimes have no voice. And
full disclosure, I've always thought Ashley was innocent from the beginning. Like, as soon as I heard what happened, I was like, you could just see the type of dude that Garrett was. And I think I have like the rare perspective of like having dated a fucking douchebag like Garrett. So like I understood like just the mind numbing, like, I don't know if you know what I mean? Like I could feel it coming off of her. You know what I mean?
I at the time I went into it, full disclosure, like trying to just get inside information. I never anticipated this person would lash out the way that she did. And when she lashed out, I was kind of like, okay. That wasn't a position that I was expecting her to take. And it probably took about 6 months of communication and her. I mean, I remember I got like a 16-page letter because at the time, well, even now, you in the women's prisons in the IDOC, it's different from the women's prisons versus the men's prison. You can't get on someone's call list. In order for her to make phone calls to me, I had to go through a process and get added to where in the men's prison, all they have to do is get my approval. That's not how it works with the women's prison. So I'll never forget. And this sounds corny, but I will never forget the first time that I heard her voice, because I had talked to her through messaging for months. And I was so anticipating a phone call from her. And there were like several times that we thought we were going to get a phone call and it didn't go through, because certain things hadn't been, approved. And I was at work. I was at work. I was on break. And she knew my work schedule. And she called. And the very first time I heard her voice, I'll never forget that. And from there forward, I will say for probably the first year, I was like anti, she's telling me the truth. I was doing anything and everything to prove that she wasn't innocent. And I didn't do it in an aggressive way. I didn't do it in a derogatory way. I just continuously presented things to her like, okay, well, what about this? What about that? Challenging her scenario, her narrative. And the more and more I communicated with her, the more and more I saw. And I came to the conclusion that how fucking incredible is it? Because I had been working on the Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey case for years, that I would happenstance upon another case where somebody else could have been wrongfully convicted. You would think that it would be so few and far between. And I was really reluctant to believe the shit, like, to be honest. Then I met her family. And her 80-year-old grandmother backed up her story. Not in a way, like I would say, Ashley said, when I met with her grandmother and her grandmother spoke to me openly, her grandmother was like, I have so much guilt because I was angry that Ashley just disappeared. And she was calling me to pick her up. And I just was angry at the fact that I didn't know where she was. I didn't know why she had disappeared. And that was when Garrett had put her in the hospital and then taken her from White County out to Kentland. And she said, if I knew what I knew now, I would have drove out there to get her where she was asking me to drive. She was like, but it just, at my age in the dark, I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. And everything that Ashley has told me, I have been able to document. Ashley's not perfect. Ashley is not a saint.
None of us are.
No one is. And she fully commits to her faults. But if you look at her record, there was no felony charge.
Nothing.
She had nothing prior to this case in Indiana. And
I mean, some of our favorite convicts can't even say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And going through all of this research or taking phone calls, receiving messages, and compiling all the information. And there's some days where I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? And I have to go back and I have to find it. And I go, oh my God, this is great. Oh yes, you're absolutely right. The Palladinos. Very fucking scary people.
Very scary. Do you know what they're like? I know Clint's bought a bunch of property or something's being transferred to his name, because back in the day when I was obsessed, I for some reason set some sort of like white pages alert. And now every time he does anything, I get an alert about it in my email. So he's been up to a lot lately. Property transfers and stuff.
Who is that? Curtis?
Curtis, yeah, not Clint, Curtis.
Well,
and I've always thought like he's the one, he's the conundrum because like Mark and Jason and Clint, like CJ, whatever the fuck they call him, they're all like, we know what they are. We know exactly what they are. The dad, Curtis, he's the hardest one to read. Either he isn't involved in all of it or he is involved in all of it. He's like running it. You know what I mean?
Okay. So to me, and this is my personal opinion, Big Curtis Palladino is the man with the master plan. His record is clean.
Very clean. Remember what I said to you that one time? Remember what I said? You said, who do you think? And I said, who's the one who's never gotten in trouble? Yep. Who's the one that's never taken a hit?
You and I go way back on all of this with Nicole Bowen, all of that. We go way back. And Big Curtis is the man with the master plan. And he runs a full-blown diabolical drug ring, not just drugs, but stolen property.
They had that TV repair shop that's kind of by where he lives now, and apparently that
no one can tell us. No one can tell us where it is.
I know where it's at.
I need the address because I can't find it. They do own.
It's that old building. Look, so you know when he comes out of his house, where his house is, that road that he's on. It's like
he's on. Old. Okay, so he's on Main Street in Yemen.
Yeah. So when you go out to the main highway where the church is, you turn right. You go north, up. And it's down about a mile. It's an old building and it's got a big old TV antenna coming out of it. That was their old like TV repair shop. They had all kinds of shit going in and out of there. If you look at it now, it's super fucking sketchy. I don't know what it used to be. I'm not familiar with.
I have never been able architecture. I have never been able to find that address, but what I do know is that in the opposite direction, where Big Curtis's house is on Main Street in Yemen, if you come out of the property and you go right, like a quarter mile up the road is the schoolhouse auction building.
Yeah. I mean, the way that place runs, you could run all kinds of stuff in and out of there.
And I've been told these buildings that are facilitated for, like example, a TV repair shop, a auction building, and you can go to the website. There's a schoolhouse. Hello, people. Go to the schoolhouse auction building in Yemen. There, it's going to come up very easily. The business owners are different and separate from Curtis Palladino. But if you look at the Beacon website and who owns the property, it is in fact Curtis Palladino. But I have yet to find a real live auction that has taken place there. And there's really nothing online. It's weird how this place.
They have junk piled up everywhere at all their properties. Even like Mark Palladino's ex-wife in Louisiana, her house is just piled up with like cars and engine parts and like just, I don't know. Maybe they're just like tweaker hoarders, but I don't think so.
Well, I know from law enforcement in Carroll County, I have been told that the Palladinos had for a lack of a better term, a voluminous amount of cars.
Yeah, I mean, they do. They do. I mean, you look at every place. Yeah.
They would let a voluminous amount of people drive cars on their behalf to drive, transport, sell, obtain, bring back drugs. And guess what? The number one defender of them all prior to becoming a Carroll County prosecutor was Dickless McClelland.
Yep.
He defended them all, got them off. He knew the ins and outs of the drug trade. He knew where the shit was coming from. He protected those who were infiltrating the county with a mass amount of meth and cocaine. His drug of choice, by the way.
Cocaine. I mean, if you have a choice between meth and cocaine, I'm choosing coke. Fouts, Laura, I looked a lot into Fouts. Fouts' family goes way back. The only thing I can really, I mean, Fouts went to law school in Chicago, and the law firm that he clerk, I don't know what those lawyers do. They clerk or intern, I don't know what it is shady. But I think Fouts is just your good old fashioned skirt chaser. Honest. I mean, I haven't really. The only other thing that's somewhat that makes me so is Dale McCurdy. He is Fouts' cousin. And then Jalen Rain, the angry escort, she was like, she had like a circle of girls that kind of like ran that area. Mm-hmm. And one of those girls was Anna Dunham. And then McCurdy was found dead in his house with Anna Dunham right after that Fouts stuff came out. So, I mean, that's the only thing I've ever found about Fouts. Mainly all I can find about Fouts is that he's just your typical run-of-the-mill, like, ginger skirt chaser. He's a Murdoch. He's another Murdoch. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
Comes from, like, one of those families. Like, one of his, like, family's cabins is, like, sitting in that canal park thing. Him and Ives' cabins are, like, right next to each other. They're families from when they were, like, pioneers. Down by the river. This is my boyfriend.
Hey, what's up, boyfriend?
He's going to come say hi.
I'm coming out there, boyfriend, to ride a horse.
Do it? Oh.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
That's my old cowboy.
God love you. That's great.
But
so let's ask.
Go ahead.
Let's ask the chat what they want us to talk about next. Where should we go next? Being facetious and all.
Oh, it's Saturday. Keith probably has.
So Rizzo says the money. He says, in my opinion, you don't want me to say anything. I'm going to be quiet. Now, Keith, don't shut the fuck up. Speak the fuck up. How about that? Redacted says Greeno. Tom says, you're
my Kevin Costner. Yes, he's my Kevin Costner. He's giggling.
What? Big Fairy says the Roblox video has haunted me. Me fucking too.
I always tell everybody my cowboy. Sorry. Yeah, the fish, Ron Logan's fish tank. So I've
there's no proof. Listen.
Okay, so listen to this. Okay, listen to me. So
Da-da-da-da. Tell me.
There's
What
a
is it?
chick. I mean, granted, she's been prosecuted for like painting parrots or some shit like that, and she is a guilter. Her name is Angela. But back in the beginning, before like arrests and people like chose sides, she was someone that I communicated with, and she knew Ron Logan, went to his house, and she said he had and like he was really into his saltwater fish tank. So I don't, and that she's seen it, but I don't know. That's all I know. That's all I got to say about that.
Just have a 100-gallon tank. That's all it is.
Okay.
My boyfriend just informed me we used to have 100-gallon saltwater tank.
I used to have a saltwater tank. My mom used to have 2. And
Rizzo, we're going to talk about what we want to talk about. You ain't in charge here.
No problem.
I had a saltwater tank. I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was like 100-gallon. And I don't know why, but I just, Ron Logan and everything that he was doing to me does not make me
He
feel
obviously
like
had
we were-
something to do with it.
I feel like if he went to a fish store in Lafayette, he bought regular fish that he could put anywhere. You don't go spend $100 on saltwater fish without definitive. Like he never definitively said, "Okay, here's my saltwater tank. I bought these fish." You have to stabilize your water. You have to make sure that your coral, your salt levels, all of that is normalized before you put fish in your tank. And then once you put fish in your tank, those fish are going to react. And
Wasn't
the
he supposed to buy-
reaction is going to tell you whether or not you are incorrect or imbalanced or what. I mean, I do not see Ron Logan managing a saltwater tank. And I have the search warrant photographs of his home, and not one person since the FBI search warrant until now ever has been able to provide factual visual information that yes, Ron Logan had a saltwater tank.
Yeah. The only time I've ever heard anything about it is from.
Tank.
Yeah, I've only heard about it from Angela. So I mean, I don't have proof of that. But I know in the beginning there was someone who no. Hold on a second. I gotta go close this door. He's about to run a fucking drill.
Hey guys, I cannot keep up with the chat. I will go through the chat tomorrow. I can't chit chat on live and keep up with the chat.
Sorry.
You're fine.
He's a boomer. He doesn't understand that like noise exists. But yeah, so I don't know. Mommy Wolverine wants us to say what we really think happened. You know,
Okay. Let me post this. Amy, could you? I'm assuming she means you and Street state what you really think happened. There have been so many scenarios, but all of them can't be true. You know, she's fucking right. Not
Yeah.
all of them can be true.
I don't know. I know that I haven't been convinced that it's Richard Allen. I know that there's nothing that I've been shown that says that it's 100% Richard Allen. I don't think it was Richard Allen. Who it could be, I don't know. I mean, there are so many possibilities. I would really like to look at. I say this a lot, and no one ever listens to me. I would really like to look at the transcripts from Flint Farmer's interrogation. Because if you look back at everything that happened, Flint Farmer's arrest really is what set off a chain of events in the Delphi community that just like changed everything. You had Karina McClurkin was found, and then you had the river search, and it all started with Flint Farmer getting arrested. So I'd really like to hear his interrogation, because obviously that dude rolled like a motherfucker, because like people just started going to jail left and right. They found Karina McClurkin's body, and they started the river search. So something that he said, I feel, in my opinion, like set this off. Like it was something that he said that matched with something Keegan Klein said, and it set this all off. You know what I mean? And something that he said gave them the idea to frame Rick. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you think about it, Keegan went to prison. Richard Allen went to prison. Flint Farmer went on trial, but the prosecutor charged him in a way that he couldn't be convicted. So he was acquitted. Double jeopardy. Flint Farmer is the only person who walked away from this clean after killing Karina McClurkin and leaving her body in the woods for 10 years. So I think that he would be interesting to look at, like a person that, a different angle that no one's ever looked at before. But he's like free, and he had a nephew who was talking, and that dude ended up with a hot shot. So I try to stay away from Flint Farmer. I don't know what's going on with him, but people die around him and he walks free. So I don't know. That makes sense. Does that make sense? But I don't know what happened to those girls. I just know Rich Allen didn't kill them. I mean, there's so much going on at that time, and so much corruption, and so much the police and their egos, and I don't think we'll ever know. I think the only hope we can really have is to get a new trial and get Rick exonerated. But as far as figuring out and solving this crime, I don't think we're ever going to. Once Richard Allen is acquitted, I don't think that they're going to have the money, resources, or gumption to go after anyone else.
Well, okay, my turn.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, don't say sorry. You had the platform, bitch. Keep going if you want to. What else? What else?
That's it. I think that we looked at every aspect of this case exhaustively, everybody day in and day out for a decade straight. And I think that Flint Farmer is an angle we could really get some good information from. I think just the transcripts from that first interrogation would be eye-opening for like what was going on around the case and led police to where they landed. I think we get a lot of answers from it. Okay, now I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay, so taking the scenario of what we've been told over the last 10 years, because by the time this live reaches any kind of earworthy amount of respective nature, it's going to be about 10 years. But looking back on the case and knowing Derek German's background, what he was doing, who he was involved with, no one's going to ever convince me that his stepfather and his mother didn't know what he was doing. They condoned it clearly because they protected him. They protected him, one, because they provided him an address where he could claim he lived.
807 Sam Milroy?
No.
803 Sam Milroy?
No. The Patties lived out on 500 out
I know, but his address, even to this day, is still this Sam Milroy address. And I mean, that's been as he's
on
been busted
on the
for some-
on the day that he was interviewed on February 14th, he claimed he lived on Samuel Milroy Road. However, every interview, every documentation about what transpired on the morning of the 13th was that Derek German lived on 500 at the Patty's residence. Who cares? No big deal, right? I do not believe that this was, number one, random. Number two, a accidental murder or a opportunist sexual predator who just happenstanced upon these two little girls.
just woke up on a Monday and at 2:44, 2:00 in the afternoon was like by myself with this heart stent. I'm on a bridge that's 70 feet in the air. I'm going to kidnap these two little girls and kill them.
Absolutely freaking not.
No.
And we are still, this is the fucked up thing. Here's the really fucked up thing. The biggest fucked up thing is that there is so many timestamps, witnesses, reenactments, accounts of who was where and when, that none of it aligns with these two little girls crossing this bridge, pulling out a camera and videotaping a man walking behind them, and then them being abducted off the bridge, and no one saw a goddamn thing
or heard anything.
There is
tell me you killed two little girls silently in the woods. Not one of them made a fucking peep. Not one made
made a fucking peep. And when I you know what? Here, let me just play this because this
today hear the splashing. You couldn't, what I mean? There's no splashing in the water. There's people up on the bridge. You've got Cheyenne and Daniel Pearson. You've got Dan McCain walking around. No one heard anything. They didn't hear splashing in the creek. They didn't hear little girls screaming. He killed two girls by himself in complete silence. And no one saw it.
Okay, look. Let me just.
Or Kelsey drugged him before they left. That's why Libby's voice is all high like that.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I'm looking for something. Hold on. Because I saved it and I'm fucking pissed. Hold on.
What are you looking for?
Hold on. I'll tell you. Hold on.
I'm sure toxicology was ran, Mary Beth. I've never heard anything about it, but I'm sure they had to run they would run toxicology, right?
They did run toxicology for what?
For the girls' blood.
No, they ran it.
Okay. I haven't seen the autopsy because I'm not an investigator, nor was I at an Airbnb showing off autopsy photos during the trial, so I wouldn't know. Is the sun going down in Ohio?
Yeah, it's been down.
Oh, it's only like what, 5? Oh, you guys are really north, huh?
Huh?
You guys are really north.
Fuck, I can't find it. So, Lauren behind the true crime door.
Lauren or Kristen? Lauren?
Kristen Kristen behind the True Crime Door. Lauren is, what's her channel's name?
I don't know. I don't like to listen to women that much. You're like one of the only women I can listen to.
Okay.
Their
hold on.
voice is not like this. Oh my god. Sounds like nuns during catechism.
Where is it? I downloaded it today. God damn it. Hold on. I have to go through all these fucking files and find the file name.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the video where Lauren is at the crime scene and she's describing
Hidden True Crime Lauren?
Yes, Hidden True Crime Lauren.
That fucking Botox bitch. Not that I should talk. I do Botox.
Be
too,
nice.
but
Be nice.
Mine doesn't look like hers. She gets too much right here. I think she gets too many units along her brow line, and it like makes her look very surprised.
Stop it! I need like 5,000 units on my brow line. Oh my God. I can't find it, so it's going to take forever. So it is what it is, but it gave a better perception of where the crime scene is versus the creek bank, and that's what I wanted to show.
But isn't it really echoey down there? Because isn't that creek bank like a lot of rock too? Like when you're down there, people can hear you in the trails, right? I've heard that. I've never been there. I've never been to India. I've never been to Delphi. So I don't know. But I've heard that if someone is like splashing around down there, you can hear it as you're approaching it on the trail system.
I mean, when you're out there, it's like a web of silence. And it's a web of silence, and any movement, talking, sound, yelling is very vibrant. So nothing is, if you're walking across the bridge and shit's happening underneath the bridge or to the left of you on the north end of the bridge, it's not mistakable that you're going to turn your head and you're going to look.
Yeah,
it's insane.
I just can't imagine. I mean, I've raised teenage girls, you know what I mean, and there's nothing fucking silent about that process. So I just can't imagine that they would. I mean, they don't. I mean, it's just. I can't see two girls just standing there silently letting someone kill them or watching their friend get killed and not making a fucking noise. I don't care how scared you are. And then that's one of the things that the girls just say, he had a gun. I don't care. Who said
there is actually no proof that this individual that we hear who says, down the hill, guys, down the hill. First of all, we were made to believe, based on law enforcement's own analogy, that it might be two different people.
I remember that podcast.
It might be two different people. When you put sound to ear, it is very plausible that we're hearing two different people speak. I don't know for sure. I'm saying it's a plausibility. But you have guys down the hill. Those are not emphatically proven to be the voice
same
of
person.
one person.
Yeah.
Then you have everything prior to that and everything after that. I mean, what are we supposed to do with guys down the hill? And
And they didn't. And the thing about it is they didn't hesitate to go down that hill.
no,
Abby jumped down the
Abby
hill.
was like, okay, go. But
I mean, if we think about this logically, right? You're on a bridge. Your friend's coming across the bridge. You see another guy coming across the bridge. You two are talking. Some dude you don't know comes and says down that hill, and you're just gonna go. No. Like it. Just think about in your own head. Like think your thought all the way through to the end, and think about what you would do. Put yourself at the end of that bridge, turning around, looking at this man coming towards you, and he tells you to go down a hill.
do you okay, so let me ask you this. Do you believe that the commentary that Libby is
I
producing,
think she's filming that video for someone else. She's not. That's not for her. Like she's like, they're there to film and take pictures and do Snapchats. Like she's talking about like, I don't know.
okay, let me play devil's advocate. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's like going against the grain here, and it's going against what my thought process is normally saying here. But I'm just asking, do you think what we're hearing is a animation of someone, Libby, Abby, who encountered a man earlier on the bridge who told them something to the effect of, you're not supposed to be here. You need to get your ass off the bridge, go down the hill without giving them an absolute direction. And when Libby decides to videotape that, that's what she's talking about. And it's more of an embarrassment type audio. So there's no path that goes here. We need to go down here. Like Libby knew the area. She knew Kay Weber's property.
They had gotten yelled at for cutting across Kay Weber's property.
Right.
Before.
So this was not
unusual.
It wasn't, I don't want to say unusual. I want to say this wasn't a location that Libby, being the smart girl that we know that she wasn't capable of saying, Abby, let's fucking go. And boom.
Abby's house was right down the street. All they had to do was get down to that driveway and run straight down the road, and Abby's house is down the road. Yeah.
Absolutely. But the person behind them did not seem to be that aggressive to be able to control them if they're 20, 30 feet ahead of him. And if Libby
it was like they were waiting,
they were in jeopardy. When Abby came across the bridge, she could have said, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Run here. Let's go. Go.
And Abby starts to head away from him. She starts to go, and Libby corrects her. No, you can't go that way. That's not the trail. We got to go down here. She's showing, you know what I mean? Because Abby goes to go that way. I mean, I know she's running because when you get off the bot, you're scared and you're just like, get me off. I know that's why she's running.
The thing is, why would they be scared? And if they were scared, the scary part would have been.
Maybe they thought that was Brad Weber behind them.
Okay, but exactly. Maybe they thought that. But the scary part would have already been in their realm of thought the second Abby stepped off the bridge. We
Go.
gotta go. We gotta fucking go now.
Yeah.
And yet Abby ran past Libby,
And she brought her
turned
back.
around and came back. Did
No,
she
they're not
turn around and
scary.
come back because there was somebody else at the other end of the trail approaching her that made her go, "Oh my God, we're fucking trapped." And when they said guys down the hill, they said, okay. They knew they were fucked.
Like a turkey shoot, which would be a military way to carry out that attack. Just so you know, Mr. Westfall and Mr. Bradholder, cornering them across the bridge like that, putting them once and then bringing another person in and like trapping them and turning them, you know what I mean, into someone down at the bottom. That is a turkey. That's like a turkey shoot, like a turkey trap. You know what I mean? Like they literally like corralled them to whatever was, because they weren't there. They weren't there overnight. There's no. I'm thoroughly convinced of that. There's no way that those clothes were in the river when they were searching. There's no way. And those clothes had to have come from downriver. So like they were perpendicular or no parallel to the bodies. You know what I mean? As far as their presence in the river or creek, whatever the fuck that thing is. But it came down from like Wilson's. Oh God, I hate to say that because that gives fuck nut.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, but this is where I get confused with the flow of the creek. So the flow of the creek to me is north
to south.
Correct.
So it's going past Ron Logan's and down to the bridge, not from the bridge to Ron Logan. It's going from Ron Logan to the bridge.
I'm seeing. Okay, hold on. I'm seeing your hand movement, and I'm.
Okay, so
hold on.
It's going down from north to south past Ron Logan's. It's not coming up from the bridge to Ron Logan's. It's coming down from Ron Logan's to the bridge.
Hold on. Mm-hmm.
And those clothes were in that bend. So if they had gotten caught on that log the night before, you would have seen them. You know what I mean? Do you see it? What I'm saying?
Hold on.
It went from Ron Logan to the bridge, not from the bridge to Ron Logan. Mike Patty was in a canoe that night, but they said he got in the canoe at the bridge and headed down towards town. So he would have been too far north to see those clothes if he would have entered at the bridge. Or no, too far south. He would have been too far south to see those clothes to the north at the bend of the creek. If that makes sense.
Okay, hang on. Indy Cindy, thank you so much. Love you, girl.
I thought he went from the Monon Bridge towards downtown, towards the canals.
Okay, so what I have is, hold on.
That's such a cool picture.
Okay, so where should I go on here?
So I can't see anything, but if you start at Ron Logan's and go
Wait, what?
towards-
You can't see anything?
I can't see, I can't see anything.
Okay, hang on.
All I can see is the thumbprint, the thumbnail.
Hold on. Okay, what about now?
Yeah. Okay, so you see where their bodies are found? Right there, south end of the bridge. The water is coming up from so you see where it says I can't point.
The water travels, hold on.
So the water is traveling from this side of the screen.
The water is traveling this way.
No, it's going
Yes,
other
it
way.
is. No, it's not. The water doesn't travel. No, the water travels this way.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I've
I
been
thought
there.
it comes from, because this is from the north. The other side's from the north, and the river goes from like Lake Michigan to.
No. So if you
Or is
are
it
on the
Oak
south,
Creek?
if you are on the south end of the bridge and you wander down to the creek's edge, the water, so if you're right here, let me pin it. God damn it. If you are right here where it says untitled place mark, if you're right here
Mm-hmm.
and standing at the water's edge, the water is flowing to the right.
Is it?
It is. Absolutely, it is.
So but the water's still flowing.
It's
Regardless.
flowing. It's flowing. But
So is it coming from Wilson's Bridge and going? So you're saying it's coming from the creek, or you're saying it's coming from like Monon Bridge and going up to Wilson's, but not from Wilson's down. Do you know what I'm saying?
no. So Wilson's Bridge is over here,
Yeah.
and the water is flowing past Wilson's Bridge. The water does not flow the opposite direction.
Oh, I thought it went from north to south. I guess since it's
No.
a creek. I don't fucking know. I was a stoner in high school. I must have got stoned during that part of geology or whatever wherever we learned that. But I just assumed it went north to south. I guess I shouldn't assume.
No, it goes the other direction, and it's still.
Is that
I
because
mean,
it's a creek? Because that just doesn't make any fucking sense either. Like, just in my head, knowing like gravity, like, is that how it's supposed to work? It flows into the Wabash, which is south of Delphi, which still even means to me east to west, right? Yeah. So even then, it would be the opposite way.
it doesn't go east to west.
I don't know. I'm going to be there this summer. I'll stand there and look at it for myself. But I always imagined that the water was coming from Ron Logan's to the bridge, not from the bridge to Ron Logan, if that makes
Well,
sense.
it could never run from Ron Logan's to the bridge because Ron Logan's is north of the bridge, and
I meant as far as the flow. Like if you dropped a rock in the water, would it so if you went to the crime scene and you dropped a rock in the water, would that rock go down towards the bridge, or would it go up towards Wilson's Bridge? The flow, the current.
okay. So, which side of the street am I standing on?
So if we're at the crime scene, on the side of the creek of the crime scene, and I'm standing there at the edge of the creek,
Mhm.
and I drop a rock in the water, is that rock going to flow down to Monon Bridge, or is it going to flow up to Wilson's?
Up
It's
to
going to flow up
Wilson's.
to Wilson's. Okay, that's
Wilson's.
okay. And my brain doesn't work that well, I guess, because that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. But like, I'll be there. I'm gonna Shut up. I know it's gonna sink, but you know what I mean. I'll stand there. I'll see for myself. I'll see it. All right.
We're never going to be right. We're never going to be wrong. It's all going to, I mean, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. I mean, it's the only thing I know is that, like, at this point, 10 years in, and all the fighting and all the arguing and all the crazy people and all their crazy fucking theories. Like, all I know is like what I know. And I'm smart enough to know. I mean, because people who are stupid, this is one of the things that I've noticed. People who are stupid think they know everything. They say things like case solved. You know what I mean? But smart people understand that I don't know everything. Like, there is a lot that I don't know that could be the key to what I do know. So until I know everything, which I never will, I'm not going to make any sort of guess or decision or point my finger at anyone. I'm just going to say I don't think it happened the way that the state said it happened, and that in of itself creates reasonable doubt.
and you know what? That's the most important thing. The state has boxed themselves. They have boxed themselves in to a narrative that we can completely shatter. And until someone comes along with clear cut factual information that what the state is saying is true, we have every right to question it. And the fact that Abby and Libby, as far as I'm concerned, and this is the most heartfelt perception that I'll probably say, the fact that Abby and Libby are still left out there in the woods in the state that they were found with no justice.
Was Abby tied to a cross?
No.
I saw a picture yesterday. Someone.
No, don't buy. What are you talking about? No.
I saw it
No.
yesterday, and I was like, I didn't know that. But I also know there's a lot of, like I said, I know there's a lot of crime scene photos that I haven't seen, and the ones that I did see were not done in a way where I could see something like that.
The crime scene photos that are shared amongst the community.
I have a new theory about who released those crime scene photos.
In my opinion, all of the crime in a case like this, don't get me wrong, I adore Abby and Libby. I mean, my heart just fucking bleeds.
Carrie and Anna are who I always think about.
My heart bleeds for them.
Yeah.
But in order to get to the truth, the crime scene photos should not be sealed. And I say that because 98% of the crime scene photos aren't of the bodies of the girls. It's everything surrounding the crime scene. The tree, the blood pools, the maneuvering, the movement. It's all a matter of being able for not me, but somebody who has the forensic background to look at them and go, okay, this is where I see either the state has a stronghold or the state is full of shit.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that I understand that, like, you and I can look at those pictures and look at those pictures and look at those pictures. But there are people who, like, went to school, paid for an education, like, went through classes, did quizzes, looked through textbooks, like, did the end of chapter quizzes, like, for years at a time, and learned step by step exactly what they're looking for in these pictures. You know what I mean? And I haven't been through that. I'm literally just some fucking stoner chick from California sitting on her couch, usually stoned, staring at some shit on the internet. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, I know more than the expert. So I'm just, like I said, like, I just want to hear what people have to say. And I have so much, there's so much flowing through my head that, like, my brain, being the way that it is, will naturally pull at like the patterns that it's already created in the information that
But
I'm
you know,
taking.
the
And
thing is,
everybody's brain does that in a different way. That's why, like, this like, what do they call it when everybody, like, collective learning of everything is good, because all of our brains are making our own patterns and pulling information into those patterns. And if we all just lay that out like you're doing with the vault, then we start to, we'll each all together as a community start to see those patterns, and then be able to, like, weed out the bullshit and really start to hone in on, like, what's important. You know what I mean? Because I think right now, 10 years of, like, small town Facebook shit talking has really harmed the integrity of anything that's happening here. You've got people grifting and just trying to make money off of the case, you know what I mean? And, like, sensationalizing things that don't need to be sensationalized, and so it's just a gathering of information. It's a collective of minds, like, almost like I learned about the French Revolution when I was a kid, and it was one of, like, the things that my brain just loved. And I love the idea of, like, a French salon, like, just almost like a place where people go and just everything gets thrown on. I mean, it created a guillotine revolution in the end, but it was a place where, like, ideas started to form, like freedom and independence started to form. I mean, we didn't go about it the right way. We cut everybody's heads off, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I think we can do that here without the head cutting. I mean, everybody's heads we've already done the guillotine process. So now it's time to, like, really just lay it on the table. Does that make sense? I know that was a fucking stupid.
No, it makes sense. It all makes sense. And we can just continue to listen to the state's narrative and feed us a bullshit story. And I think personally, to argue this case, we need someone who won't feel personally affected by the state's backlash. The state is is an absolute nightmare.
They fight like little girls. Like, they'll go after, like, your reputation, like burn book style. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, we need to make a burn book on Delphi. We really do.
I've got.
Oh my God, there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers I would put in that burn book.
Yeah, but that's how. I mean, look at what they did to Click. You know what I mean? And then with Ferenczi, when he died, they tried to make it look like it was because he was having an affair with Meehan's wife. You know what I mean? Like, it's like dirty tricks. It's like old school, like old clan politics. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, has nothing to do with your policies. It's just like, how white and American are you? How pure are you? How moral are you? What's in your closet? What can I expose? And it's not about the case. It's whether or not Click signed a fucking piece of paper. And not about, like, well, what does he know? I don't give a fuck about what paper Click did or did not sign. I really don't. What the fuck does he know? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
This is the death of two little girls. I'm not playing.
The fact is, they don't want to know what he knows.
Yeah, but I don't want to play these fucking Indiana small town against small town games. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, these are grown ass men playing these stupid. I mean, these are grown men playing fucking games with the lives of two little girls, and, like, having these dick dropping concerts. Like, tell you what, boys, I'll settle it for you all right now. You all have tiny fucking dicks. Now solve the goddamn case. You know.
I hate you.
Mission accomplished. Like, it's been solved. You all have tiny dicks, all 1 inch. Let's just solve the case now. Egos aside, like, let's just do it. It's, yeah, Mossad attacks. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to get political. It was right on the tip of my tongue.
Ah, you suck.
Me?
Yeah. No.
I'm
Just
saying,
kidding.
like,
I love
what-
you.
It's and like us from the outside looking in are just looking at it and being like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you doing? You're grown men behaving like little boys. Like,
They are. They all
I
act
don't
as-
care.
they
Like,
all
I
act
just
as if-
want, like, I don't care
Good.
whose ego is hurt. I don't care who's gonna get a fucking award at CrimeCon. I just want to know who killed those little girls, and I want to know why you went after Richard. Like, that's all. That's all. Those are the two things I want to know. And at this point, I don't think I'm ever gonna find out what happened to those two little girls. As tragic as it is,
We'll
I don't
never-
think anyone
I
will.
mean, and-
We never
and-
will. The only thing we can
unless-
hope to do at this point is to reverse the injustice, but we're never going to be able to right the wrong. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because it's just like with the Haley Dunn case. Like, at this point, because of all of the stuff that's been, no, I'm just saying, even with the other people in the community, like, that case is pretty much like unsolvable. There's lots of cases like that. Like, I'm surprised that they were able to solve the Idaho 4. Once you start getting all of those, like, people in there and all those opinions and like throwing in all, it just gets to a point where you can't separate the lie from the truth anymore. And we've been at that point in Delphi for a long time, but all we can do now is get a new trial. You know what I mean? If Richard, we just need a new trial. Like, it needs to be done the right way so that it can just be done. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be done the
Well,
right way procedurally.
yes.
So that,
When you say that, but when you say the right way, going forward, the right way would be a new set of attorneys.
yeah, I mean, I'm not smart enough to say exactly what that is, but definitely a new set of attorneys.
No,
Because
there needs
their
to be a new,
judgment
there needs
is-
to be a new set of attorneys, which are going to require time to digest this case. And I'm sorry, here, the conundrum with the defense team is that I truly believe that on the onset, going forward, at the beginning of the case, they were fighters, diehard fighters, willing to put their careers on the line, especially when they filed the Franks motion. After that, when it snowballed against them, they were not able to adjust. They didn't adjust. They didn't recognize where the case was going and how fast it was sinking. And they did not prepare to defend their client on the outset, not inset, outset of the Franks motion. And if they had stopped the brakes, pumped the brakes after the first Franks motion was denied, if they would have then turned their sights elsewhere to the timeline, to Daniel Pearson, which they, they claim. They
were also trying to protect people who they thought were like, okay, so they don't have anything to do with it, and the public's gonna crucify whoever we look into. I mean, look what happened.
You know what? As defense attorneys, that should be the last of your worries.
Well, I'm
But
thinking about
Andrew Baldwin stood in front of the jury in his opening arguments and claimed that he was going to call Daniel Pearson. And
he never did.
Never did. And Daniel Pearson is the young bridge guy.
Oh yeah.
No
For
one
sure.
will ever convince me otherwise. His uncle tipped him in and said, my nephew was on the bridge around 2 p.m. Therefore, where did young bridge guy go? Where did he go?
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
then replaced him in the Carhartt and jeans and some fucking ball cap or magician's cap, whatever the fuck cap that you want to describe the BG is wearing? Where did the young bridge guy go?
I think there was a group of men there that day, from what I can gather from witness statements. I think there was like a group of like 3 or 4 men there that day. That
Keep
kind
talking.
all kind of like moving around and like, you know what I mean, coming in. I think that's what happened.
I'm going potty. Keep talking.
Okay. But I think that, I mean, that's the only thing I can think about. And then I don't know. I mean, there's so much, and I don't know. So I don't think that they can give an appeal on ineffective assistance of counsel because they fought so hard to keep them on the case. I think the Supreme Court gave them a warning, like, just so you know, this means you can't later come back with ineffective assistance of counsel because we tried. So, Rizzo had a question I saw. Oh, why do you think his defense rested so quickly? I don't know. I think there is a reason. I think that we just haven't been told. I think I've asked that question many times too. Like, why did the defense rest so early? There was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we didn't see, that we didn't hear about. We still haven't heard about. And that's one of the other reasons why I don't want a Delphi channel either, Amy, is because I've had the confidence of some people and I've been told stuff about what happened behind the scenes that I'm not allowed to repeat. And so it's just better that I don't talk about it.
In regards to what?
Or he was just asking, why do we think, and it had those two statements had nothing to do with each other. But Rizzo asked, why do we think that the defense rested early the way that it did?
Because I'll tell you why. I'll give you my opinion. That's because the direction the state was taking this case was a direction that the defense was not prepared to defend.
Where was the state taking it?
Well, the state was taking it into all of the areas, like, for example, the bullet, that I think the defense was aware of the bullet, but I mean, stop and think about the whole entire trial and how long the Indiana state investigator for the bullet was on the stand.
Yeah.
I think the most, how can I say this? When I think back, and it's, you know, I don't off the top of my head have all the recollection of the entire trial. But when I think about one of the most combative arguments that the defense put up, meaning they had a vigorous argument towards a state witness, would have been Sarah Carball. They were
I
able to lay out her interviews, her, muddy, 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 and then all of a sudden bloody. Other than that, I feel like the defense had lost their hole in the ground. They were not aware of, for example, they were super excited to, even though Judge Gall said she agreed with the prosecutor that Betsy Blair could testify to X, Y, and Z. But if you wanted to question her about the vehicle that she saw at the CPS building when she left to go to the bathroom, she would have to be recalled, which then, created a inconvenience to the witness. Judge Gall didn't fucking care. When she came back, the defense questioned her, but never once did the defense ever stop and think about, okay, you said you were on the trails from this time to this time, along with these other witnesses who were there at this time and this time, who the state is bringing in as witnesses. And I can tell you, based on my timed walkthroughs, the timestamps and the photographs based on Rayleigh Voorhees and Bree Wilbur's photos, that there was at least 4 times that Betsy Blair should have encountered crossing path with that 4-girl group. The defense didn't invest any time in that. They did nothing to completely implode that testimony. Not trying to make Betsy Blair a liar, but just saying your memory doesn't align with the facts.
Yeah.
Point blank. It just doesn't.
I think that they focused so much on the Odin report that they didn't know the ins and outs of the people who were actually going to be like in the trial. I mean, they were focusing on something that they weren't even allowed to bring in anymore instead of what was happening right in front of them.
Thank you, Michelle, for gifting 20 memberships. Thank you so much. It's not a matter of, okay, say that again.
So I think that they got a hold of the Odin report and they like focused in on it. And even though like they were told they couldn't use it as a defense, they were still trying to like work around that instead of dealing with what was right in front of them, which is Sarah Carwell and her shitty testimony, Brad Weber and his shitty testimony. Andy tried. He started with Brad, but he didn't finish. So like, I felt like they should have dealt what was happening right in front of them instead of trying to work around the judge's order as far as like the Frank's motion. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt like they were trying too hard to prove something that they weren't allowed to prove instead of just.
Well, like, I think that they spent a lot of time focusing on the Odinism when the third-party suspects that they were trying to include in the trial had been excluded. But
I think they were trying too hard to figure out who did it instead of just proving that Rick didn't.
Daniel Pearson wasn't excluded. The real testimony that Shelby Hicks gave could have been completely fucking destroyed. Completely destroyed. And they didn't do it because they didn't focus on it. They didn't focus on that timeline. There are so many aspects of this case that they could have presented that Judge Gall had never been presented to argue against, that the defense could have used, period. But I mean, here we are. We have a man convicted of 130 years, and I don't believe that Andrew Baldwin or Brad Rosie or Jennifer Auger intended to do a bad job. But to serve their client at this point, and this is just me speaking
I just think
in
it
my
needs a new set of eyes.
in my opinion, those three attorneys, if they want to do real justice for their client, they will step back and whatever ineffective assistance of counsel is accused of them, they will say, yep, we failed.
Yeah.
We failed to do this. We failed to do that. Sign off on the affidavit, admit to failing their client so Rick can finally get the justice that he deserves. I mean, and to be honest, that doesn't mean shit. In the Stephen Avery case, Stephen Avery's attorneys, his trial attorneys, did the same exact thing. They came forward and they said, we fucked up. We didn't do, they were willing to do anything to get Stephen Avery a new trial. They signed affidavits. They said, we should have, could have, would have done this. And it didn't matter. If this is a conspiracy, if this is a state-ran conspiracy, if this is a case,
There's a lot of things.
if this is a case where, you know, we all know, fuck you, Erica, fuck you, Prof, fuck you, Kristen. No one is denying that the fucking Dropbox is a significant, relevant piece of this case. We know it is.
Yeah, but we're never going to see it.
Unfortunately, I'm here to tell you, you're never going to get your hands on the inside material of the Dropbox. Plain and simple. RICO case, you know, bring them all down type bullshit.
Can you even file a RICO case if you're a civilian?
No.
I didn't think so.
But the thing is that this Dropbox, we are never going to get access to. Like them, I 100% agree that this shit goes all the way up the chain of command, all the way up politically.
I think a lot of people, because it's impolite to talk about politics, don't think about the political climate that area was in at that time. There's a lot of people that felt emboldened. There's a lot of groups that we've talked about that felt emboldened because of what was going on in the country at that time.
It's still going on in this country.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, but it was.
I mean, the FBI is unwilling to investigate the Epstein files. And
That is
fuck,
the most disgusting
the
beer I've
fuck,
ever tasted in my
the
life.
fuck. Like,
I know.
stop.
We have rich people literally eating babies, and the FBI won't investigate it. That beer was disgusting.
What
I don't
beer?
know who. My boyfriend brought me a beer, but it's a Michelob Ultra, and it is.
No.
What do Americans do? I have a joke
You
too.
used to like Michelob, I'm sorry, Michelob Light, but not in the can. I don't like anything in the can.
What do American beer and having sex in a canoe have in common?
Ooh, good question.
They're fucking close to water.
What's that? What was the question?
What do American beer and having sex in a canoe have in common? They're fucking close to water.
Oh shit.
It's an American beer joke. I like warm, dark beer. Not much of like a.
I don't like beer. Period.
That is like if you found a cup of good beer that had been drank all the way and maybe still had a little bit of foam in it, and then you like filled it up with water and drank that. That's what that would taste like.
Who does that?
I'm just saying it's not.
You do that?
I need a Pacifico. or a Corona. I like a little bit of
I don't
skunk
like
in my beer. I
If
like
I'm
a little
gonna-
bit of skunk in my beer.
if I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna fucking drink. Like,
I don't ever drink anymore, and that's why, like, as soon as it hit my body, like my throat was like I don't even drink anymore. It's, I mean, I'm not adverse against it. I don't have anything against it. It's just I'm old and my body's just like, bitch, we have done this. Like, we're done here. Like, the party is fucking over. We're done here.
all right, so
in so many toilets, and I have a lovely kidney issue, so I'm notorious for vodka makes me pee, like a lot.
what does
Vodka makes me pee.
it
My
does?
most favorite cocktail though is Captain Morgan's and root beer. But I get so fucked up. And then Captain
Ooh.
Morgan's makes me mean.
You
And-
like Captain Morgan and root beer?
oh my god, it's so good with ice and a lime and a little bit of salt like on top. It is fucking delicious.
No, stop talking. That's
You
not-
have
that-
like that
good.
catch,
That
the
doesn't sound
sarsaparilla
good.
catch,
Oh.
and then the Captain Morgan's has the spice to it. So like it's a really good combination. It's really good. And I really like it with a little bit of lime, and then you throw some like tahini and salt on the top of it, and you like mix it in. But it gets you fucked
Okay,
up.
that sounds how I make a Bloody Mary.
Oh, no, that's just, I like that or a Jameson and soda with a lime.
Oh God, I hate dark drinks.
Oh, see, if I
No,
like I said, if
I
I
can
do
do Bloody
white ones, gin and vodka, like I'll piss on myself for real. I'll like pass out and piss on myself, so I can't drink the
Really?
clears. Yeah, I can't drink the clears. My body can't, like, physically can't handle it. I gotta drink the darks, but I don't like whiskey. I don't like American whiskey. It's too sweet. So I like Canadian
What
whiskey.
do
or
you
Irish whiskey.
consider American whiskey?
Like Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Maker's Mark. They're just too sweet for me. I like Canadian whiskey, like 7 and 7. There's Seagram 7, and then I like obviously Irish whiskey, Jameson. But I can't drink American whiskey. It's too sweet. And I can't drink American beer either. It's too watery and makes me bloated. And it takes me forever to drink a beer, so I like a good like I call it cellar temperature. It's not cold. It's like 70 degrees. I like a good cellar temperature beer so that like if it sits there forever, I can still drink it. Like Guinness.
Oh God, I need something.
My most favorite beer that I've ever had in my whole life. I worked at Yard House and we used to serve it. It's the best beer. It's called Angry Beaver peanut butter. It's Angry Beaver peanut butter stout. It is the
Peanut
best.
butter?
And then it's called
I love peanut butter. I don't know. I don't know if I
peanut butter. It's the
butter.
best.
Oh,
And then Golden Drock Pilsner is my favorite Pilsner. It's a is it Dodge? I forget. They used to sell it at this like little beer store by my house, but it closed like everything else cool in the valley. It closed, but they used to have it, and I used to drink it a lot. And then of course like a good tap PBR for $2. I mean, you can't beat that as long as it's cold. With a shot of whiskey.
Oh my God! You know
That's what you drink when you very first get to the bar. It takes the chill off. Just a Boilermaker. Just like down a cold PBR, take a shot of whiskey, and then you start drinking. That's just like what sets off the night.
Jesus Christ! If you ever want a fucking liquor and drink educational episode, welcome to
Oh my God, I'm.
the Streets of Bakersfield menu.
I have like Ram bars, Belching Beaver.
We
Is
can
it
talk
Belching Beaver? Angry Beaver? Is it Belching Beaver? I don't know. It was we had when I was a bartender at the Yard House. We had it on tap, and I liked it because you could drink it warm, and I would get a pint, and I would like keep it like below the bar, and like just
a pint.
Bitch, shut the fuck up. Yeah, you know you did it. You were a bartender. Don't tell me you never drank
I
behind
was
the
a
fucking bar.
bartender. You know what I used to drink as a bartender? It's not
It
equivalent.
wasn't
to
until
you.
I became a non-bartender that I realized normal people don't drink like 6 shots a day and not get drunk.
No,
Like,
you know what I
normal
used to
people
drink as a
don't do
bartender? fucking shots of Fireball.
Yeah, people like ask bartenders like, "What's your favorite drink?" And I'm like, "The easiest drink to make." Like usually, I just want a fucking
It
shot when
wasn't
I
a
walk
mixed
out the
drink. It was
door.
just a fucking
Yeah,
shot of Fireball.
yeah. My shift drink is like, yeah, like
Now I
something.
can't even stand the smell of it.
Oh my god, hot damn! Do you remember 100 proof hot damn? Dude, Navy barracks in MCAS Yuma will never look the same.
Fireball, and then all of a sudden there was like this implosion of car bombs
Oh yeah, I
that
remember
people wanted to do, and I
when
was like,
Example, yeah,
making.
everything was
Oh
a
my god!
bomb.
I was
Yeah,
like, what the
everything was a bomb.
fuck?
Yeah, I like a good redheaded slut. Do you know what that is?
Yeah,
It's Jaeger, cranberry, and peach schnapps. Shake.
sucked. Ooh.
I like it with a good
Anything
like. I like it
schnapps,
when it's shaken to the
can't do
like,
it.
and then it has a good
Anything
like.
schnapps, I can't do.
Oh yeah, I
My
can't do
dad, my
peppermint schnapps
dad used
anymore.
to. My father used to drink. Okay, let me tell you a story. So, my dad used to drink peach schnapps, and when I was like 13, I was at my dad's house for the weekend because my mom and dad were divorced, and I would go to his house for the weekend, and he had a shit ton of liquor in the kitchen, and peach schnapps was like abundance. So here I was thinking I was going to steal liquor. Went up, took a bottle, went upstairs, and I had a friend over, and her and I literally were chugging this fucking bottle of peach schnapps.
Oh my god.
And while we were chugging the bottle of peach schnapps, we were eating a jar of kosher pickles.
You are crazy.
And
You puked
after
everywhere.
you have no, I was off. I was off school for a fucking week,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
that would make anybody sick.
that was the epitome of Amy Lynn cannot drink liquor. Like the smell of it, the taste of it is like,
You know what's the most fun about being a bartender is being really hungover from a night of tequila and then having a bachelor party come in and all they want are shots of chilled tequila all night. That's lovely. It's my most favorite thing. Like as you're pouring it, you're just so
fuck you, fuck off, take it somewhere else. Yeah,
take your
all of
fucking
it. Yeah.
tequila and go.
And my
Yeah.
daughter, my youngest daughter, right now, she's, she has my grandson. She's a wonderful mother, but she's, in I would say in the server industry and slash bartending industry. And I try to warn her, like
It's a lifestyle. It becomes a
it's,
lifestyle.
it,
I
it
mean,
becomes a lifestyle, and it becomes like 10 years ago when I closed my gyms, and I thought that I knew what the fuck I was doing. I closed my gyms for multiple reasons. And at the time, I was making a lot of fucking money and I wasn't thinking properly. My heart was broke. My emotions were sporadic. I had been married for 23 years, and it was, I ended it for a lot of reasons. It's a long story, but um, I was just wanting an outlet. I was wanting relationships that I hadn't had for so many years. I mean, in high school, I was homecoming queen. Who fucking cares? But when you're in high school, it matters. I moved on, got married, had kids, built this magnificent business. And when I had to walk away from it, I was trying to get back to being a real person. And finding friendships and making, um, I guess, relationships that I hadn't had for a very long time. And now that I look back, I see where the decisions that I made were wrong. They weren't wrong, they were just misguided. And I look at my daughter, who is kind of going through the same, my youngest daughter, who's kind of going through the same thing. And I want to grab her by her hair and say, this is not going to work.
I do that with Emma
It's
all
going
the
to
time.
lead, it's going to lead you, it's going to lead you down the wrong path. You're not going to find a true cut, clean outlet for yourself. And the difference is that she doesn't have the background that I did. It sucks. It really sucks. And
Especially this day and age, like we see our kids, like I think back about, I see these kids making these mistakes online, and I'm like, thank God that I went through all of my stuff before everybody had a fucking camera on their phone. Otherwise, I'd never be able to work again. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
but then I think that thought all the way through to the end, and like, but I have children that do have to deal with that. You know what I mean? And my 2 girls I'm fine with, but there's one daughter where I'm just like, she is a lot like how I was, which is just like, YOLO, like you only live once, and like fuck this, and I've got, I don't give a fuck, and I'm so cool. And it's like, no, you're not. And like, you think you're cool now, and everything seems like it's a lot of fun, but like at my age, like 47, 48, you're gonna be like, what was I what was I doing? What was I thinking? Like, why? You know what I mean? So,
You got to test the waters. Everybody tests the waters.
I have to learn every lesson the hard way. Otherwise, I won't learn it, and I'll just keep doing it. I mean, yeah. I mean, it took me a long time. I mean, how many boyfriends did I have with tattoos and motorcycles before I was like, you know what? I bet you it's the tattoos and motorcycles. So
And see, that's the difference between you and I. Like, I appreciate your living your life. I have been trying to live my life. I was married for 23 years. And then I can count on one hand my relationships in my life
I was
that matter. Like from high school until now.
I'm the queen of the 3-month fling, and I was madly in love with all of them.
And I just wish that I don't know what I wish. I really don't. Anywho,
Life is, it is what it is.
it is. It is what it is. And you can make the best of it any way you want.
I mean, but look at me now. I have a wonderful relationship with a wonderful man. I mean, I can take care of myself, but he like truly takes care of me. So I mean, I made a lot of mistakes, but I can pass a live scan. I can pass a background check. And really, that's all that matters at the end of the day, right?
That's really all that matters. Yeah. I'm not in that same boat. I'm not in that same boat. I am, shut up, Amy. I'm not in that boat. Amy has to.
You were I mean, I was just a wild child, and like I was one of those girls. Like, I don't know. I would have hopped on the back of any bike and gone anywhere. You know what I mean? But
you know what? I love that mentality. I fucking love that mentality, because in my dreams, that's what I would do.
But those dudes aren't good dudes. Like they look really cool, but they usually smell bad. They usually die young. Like I have the one thing that snapped me out of it was this one. So I worked at a bar called the Cowboy Palace, and we had this couple that came in there, and they each had like their own like tricked out Harley, like just rolling the dough, like big pimped out trucks, you know what I mean? And just like handing out $100 bills like they were water. And the dude owned some sort of like development company or something. And he died in a motorcycle accident, got fucking T-boned, killed him instantly. And his wife, Betty, was one of our regulars with him. It was Tom and Betty, you know what I mean? And Betty was fucking like silicone, tummy tucks. Like this bitch was fucking perfect, flawless. Like every woman wanted her life. Kept woman, everything was perfect. So I stopped working at that job, and I like, went and did other things in life. And like 5 years after Tom died, I was working at another bar, and I took the trash out at the end of my shift, and I like took it out. And this lady came out from behind the dumpster, and she was like old and like just like alcoholic. And it was Betty. And she asked me for a cigarette, and I was like, Betty? And she was like, yeah. I go, what are you doing? So I brought her into the bar, and I gave her a sandwich because we made sandwiches at the bar, and I gave her a sandwich, and I gave her a pack of cigarettes and like a couple bottles of water. But that's what made me snap. Like, I was like, I am never signing a lease with a dude with a motorcycle again. So that takes me out of my like tattoos and just seeing, like, it can be great, but it, that's just not, it can be taken away in an instant too. So
It sucks.
Yeah. So take a lesson from Betty. Don't sign a lease with a dude with a motorcycle.
Oh God, Skin Rev, sorry. Skin Rev, sorry. No,
I mean, I don't mind. I mean, my dad was, a Hell's Angel, and I grew up on the back of a bike. I dated, but like,
oh my God, did you really?
Oh yeah. Well, so up until he went to prison when I was really young.
Really?
So, yeah. I was like 5 when he went to prison, but when I was born, he was a prospect, and then he patched in, and then around like 84 is when he went to prison, and I was about 5 years old. And then my mom went to prison in 85.
Your mom and dad both went to prison?
Separately, yeah. My dad got busted first for trafficking methamphetamine across the Mexican border in San Ysidro. It was drug war. Nancy Reagan really didn't like those drugs, so he was given quite a stiff sentence, and it was federal, so he served most of it. And then my mom, me and my brother were in a house with one of her boyfriends, and it had drugs in it. It was raided, and she went to prison. And then I was put in foster care. Well,
that's right.
I wasn't put. At first, I was
care. I remember that. Yes.
So at first, I wasn't put into foster care. So my grandmother, God bless her good Catholic soul, was really scared that I was going to be put with like a Protestant family and not take my first communion. So she liked me. So exactly. So I was in a thing called Hillcrest Receiving Home. The name for these places changed. It used to be orphanage, and then receiving home, and then group home. I think they've done away with them by now. But I was there at like a receiving home, and my grandma was like making connections, and she had me put in with a like Catholic children's organization or something. And I went and lived at like a Catholic like boarding home and like with nuns, and so I was raised practically by nuns for the first like 2 or 3 years, and then I took my first communion. That place kind of like started to change. It wasn't really for like foster kids anymore because I was still a ward of the state, and then that's when I went into like regular like family foster homes, and I just kept getting older and aging out of that. And then, you know, by the time I was like 10, I had been in foster care too long, and like foster parents didn't really want me anymore. I was technically up for adoption, but I was never adopted because I was a fucking bitch. And I didn't like anybody, I didn't trust anybody, especially if you were an adult. And if you liked me and wanted me, like, I thought that there was something wrong with you. So I did everything I could to make you not want me. So, and I was very successful at it. And so I went and lived in group homes, and then I graduated juvenile hall. And then after I got out of juvie, I went back into a like group home that was Catholic. And then that's where I was confirmed. And then
Confirm what? Confirm
What?
to be a Catholic?
Yeah, so you take your first communion at like 7, 8. I did mine when I was 8, and then when you're about 12 or 13, you're actually like confirmed. So, and
Do you
then
do you feel confirmed now? Do you
in my early adult years, I wasn't like, I wouldn't even claim being Catholic. You know, there was all the Catholic priest stuff going on, and I thought I was a witch. You know, I was really into like Buddhism, and I liked the Lima, and I was really into like Aleister Crowley and Jack Parsons. And then like my daughter Emma went missing for like 10 minutes at a street fair.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was really not dramatic now, but at the time it was like my heart was in my nose. And I noticed after all was said and done, and I was like at home that night, I noticed that the first thing I did was pray and just start making deals with God. Like, God, I swear to God, if you help me find my daughter, like I will go to mass every fucking day. I'll light a candle every day. I'll go to confession every day. I'll take communion every day. Like you know what I mean? Like I just started making all these deals with God. And I realized deep down, like when the rubber hits the road, like I'm a good Catholic girl. So I just don't fight it anymore. I wear my rosary every day, and I just don't fight it. It's there. It's like, you know, I chose adoption when a situation happened.
So to this day,
Mm-hmm.
where we are right now, sitting here
Mm-hmm.
with your ass on the camera,
I'm Catholic.
you're Catholic. Okay.
Yeah, I go to mass. So there are rules. Obviously, I've been divorced, and I didn't get my first marriage annulled before I married my second husband. And I have not been excommunicated, but I don't partake in communion, or I'm not in good standing with the church. But I find comfort in the ceremony and the ritual. So I still go to mass. I just don't receive communion. I receive the blessing, but I don't partake in communion. And then sometimes when my good Catholic soul is feeling like I need some blood and body of Christ, I'll go with my adopted parents to their Protestant church because I can take communion there. But I still don't do confession. And I'm not in good standing, but I consider myself a Catholic. I mean, I kind of like keep my head down because I think they can technically excommunicate me. So I just, you know, don't let anybody notice me.
So if I tell you I don't understand a quarter of what you just said,
that's fine. I mean, it's something.
How do you explain it to me? Because I totally appreciate everything that you just said. However, my mother, I was raised in what she considered a Methodist household. My mother never went to church. I went to Sunday school. I used to, you know, put on my Sunday school dress, walk down the street, sit at the curb, wait for the Sunday school bus to show up, and would go to Sunday school, be dropped back off. But my mother never attended the church, but my mother always acted as, and when I say acted, the word acted is the key word. My mother never participated in any type of church or religious function. And to be honest, I don't even know if she actually read any Bible that she claimed to have read.
nuns standing over me. Read it.
So I went to Sunday school. I did all of the things, but once I was about 12 years old, it was nothing that I participated in. And even now, I'm not, to be honest, I believe in a higher power, but I am not a church going person. I'm not a committal to any one religion. I'm not a person who,
Well, my church doesn't believe in me, but I believe in my church. My church doesn't like me, but I love my church.
well, that's you're better than I am. I'm just somebody who
I just
believes in
consider myself
I believe
Mary
in a higher
Magdalene.
power. That's
It
it.
took the church a while to figure out that Mary Magdalene wasn't a whore. I just feel that they need the same timing for me too. They need to figure it out. But I'm a good person. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'm passionate about what I'm passionate about, and I know I can come off like I come off as mean. You know what I mean?
Wait,
But,
wait, whoa. You're mean?
I've been told this. I've been told I'm mean.
You're mean?
The thing about me is I'm the sweetest person. I'll give you the shirt off my back. Like I'm like for real a public servant. But if I go in, like I go in hard. Like it takes me to go in. But once you've made me decide, like I don't like you, I don't like what you're doing, and I'm gonna say something about it. Once that line is crossed, like I will just fucking like go hard.
Rip off the Catholic. Rip off the Catholic robe, bitch. It's going down. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
Like on site, bitch. On site. It is best for my freedom and your safety if you stay out of arm's reach of me.
I love it.
So, but I mean, and I, like I have one daughter who wants to be a nun. I wanted to be a nun when I was younger, but then I realized that boys were pretty cool, so I didn't. But I wanted to be a nun until the hormones kicked in.
Until I realized boys were really cool. Yeah, that was never
until
my
I stopped thinking that boys were yucky.
Boys are like a nun. Hell no. I wanted. Okay, so my oldest is a fucking beautiful. I mean, not to brag, but she's a beautiful goddess. She has extreme talent. Both of my girls do, but neither one of them have any goals that relate to mine. We differ on.
I mean, my kids too. I mean, my kids are, I don't know if that's a new thing or if this has been a thing parents have been experiencing since.
No, my kids think I'm completely irrelevant. They are like,
yeah, my daughter gets embarrassed. If my daughter gets embarrassed if I speak above a whisper at Starbucks, and I have to be like, I taught you how to shit in a toilet. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. No, fucking exactly. My kids are like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. My daughter gave me a 20-minute lecture as I'm an EMT and transporting COVID patients. My daughter that night gives me a 20-minute lecture in the car about proper mask use. And I'm like, bitch, I will fuck you up. I didn't say that. Do you see my black eyes from the 16-hour wear of my N95 today? Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's when COVID.
What are you gonna do?
When I have to start wearing those masks because I'm so white. Like I just had bruises all right here. Like
Rizzo. Okay, Rizzo says, okay, I have a question. What's your question, Rizzo?
Question.
Because we are completely off normal topic.
Yes, we're just
talking shit.
Hey man, I can still be a nun. Actually, no. When my
bitch, you are not going to ever be a nun. Shut the fuck up. You're not going to be a nun.
Someday I got the haircut for it. I cut all my hair off, and now I look like Sister Mary Margaret or fucking Sal. This is why I prefer being a godmother. I single-handedly pulled my little cousin out of incel pipeline, and now he's doing the same for. Yeah. Yes, you can ask me. about being Catholic. It's fine. I mean, it's not, I mean, being Catholic isn't.
She has a question about being a devout Catholic. I don't know anything about that because I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a devout anything.
No, my hair is short. I cut it all off. I had
What does that
extensions.
mean? Your hair being short has nothing to do with you being a Catholic. What the fuck?
No, she said, this one lady said she thought that I had it pulled back in a bun. And I said, no, I had really long hair down to like the bottom of my back, but I had extensions because I've been bleaching my hair for so long I got this new, I wanted to not be so blonde. And so I went with more of like a strawberry blonde, but the color that I wanted were the tape-ins instead of the wefts that I usually, like the wax weft that I usually got.
Mm-hmm.
And my hair is so fine at the back of my neck that the tape wouldn't come out. And I literally had to cut the extensions out of my hair. And now I'm trying to grow it back out again.
Okay, so I'm gonna post these questions in sequence, and I'm assuming that she's asking you this from Rizzo.
Uh-huh.
She says, "I am a Catholic. I'm a devout Catholic," and then she says, "And my mother was divorced."
Mm-hmm.
Then she says, "And I'm a lesbian," and she says, "Am I still accepted?"
And she says, and I am still accepted the rules.
Am I?
And I know,
her question is, am I?
And I am still accepted the church
she's
rules.
saying, she said, and I'm a lesbian. And am I still accepted?
No, I am still accepted. And I am still accepted. The church
and
rules.
The church rules have changed.
They have changed. I've just been nervous to push the issue because I'm worried that I'm going to go in there and ask them, like, you know, what I can do to become in good standing. And they're going to figure it out and just be like, no, you can't. You're excommunicated. Like, get out now. Like, so I don't want to risk that. I don't want to risk anybody looking into anything and excommunicating me because that, for me, that would be like,
No. Okay, so are you saying that
the rules have changed and they do make a lot of exceptions now? I'm scared to go to a priest and say, this is what I have done. What do I need to become in good standing? And he's going to say to me, nothing. There's absolutely nothing. And as a matter of fact, you're excommunicated. Get your ass out of my chapel right now. You know what I mean? I have like a fear that that's going to happen.
Okay, so let me ask this. So if you're not Catholic,
I am Catholic.
No, I'm saying if you're not Catholic, okay, there are, and I'm not going to pretend to know the difference between being a Catholic, being a Catholic, being a Christian, being a Protestant, being a Methodist, being any religious faction under a higher power. If under any of those facades, under any of those titles, regardless of what you believe you are worshiping, whatever religion you're worshiping, if you can go to your higher power and ask for forgiveness and repent for murder, sedition, whatever the horrific crimes you have committed, and ask for forgiveness, and God will forgive you.
God will forgive you, but that doesn't mean that you can be a Catholic anymore. You can be a God-forgiven Protestant.
So are you saying that? Are you saying the Catholic God is unforgiving?
No, I don't. No, I don't think that. I mean, I know it's just. I don't know what they would make me do, and I'm just kind of scared.
It's not a matter of what they would make you do. I'm saying in general purposes, And I think this falls back to um, hundreds and thousands of criminals in this country
Yeah.
who have been told if they ask God for forgiveness, they will be forgiven. And that's where the whole scenario comes from, that you can sin 6 days out of the week, but on the seventh, you can ask for forgiveness. And so what you did the 6 days prior doesn't matter. Are you saying that the Catholic Church isn't of?
I'm not putting anything on the Catholic Church. It's not the Catholic Church fault that my boyfriend's talking. It's not the Catholic Church's fault that I am scared to ask. I don't know what they'd say, and they probably would accept me in with open arms, but I don't fucking know. Like, I just know that like a lot has happened, and like I've got like that good Catholic guilt that you're always supposed to carry with you, and I'm scared of the priest.
Let me ask you a question. Does that come from everyday experiences? That
I had a really
that you feel that
go ahead.
do you feel the need to be obligated or connected to a Catholic God?
No,
Because-
so here's the thing, is that the only thing I can attribute it to, because I've thought about this, is when I was a little girl, like, you know, dad went to prison, mom went to prison, you ripped away from my family. The only constant and the only thing that provided stability and like any comfort there, and the only comfort that I ever got was from the ritual of the mass. You know what I mean? The ritual of everything comforted me. And then as I've gotten older, like, you know, I work contract jobs and I was a first responder, and just things get crazy, and just going back to the ritual kind of like centers me. So I think that's what it is, honestly. I don't think I know I'm a good person, and I know when I cross the pearly gates, there's not going to be like a list of bad shit that I've done that, you know, puts me in eternal hell. I mean, I know I've made it into heaven, you know what I mean? But it's just the everyday shit. Like, but I have, you know, issues with overthinking and intrusive thoughts and trauma and all that stuff. So it's not the church and it's not the religion. It's me. It's all me. Like, it's my own baggage that I'm bringing into, you know, that relationship. But they don't even know I exist, probably. I mean, the Catholic Church barely knows I exist. This is all in my head. You know what I mean? It's not them. It's me. It's not you. It's me. You know what I mean?
I love you.
They barely know I exist.
I love you, and I love this conversation. And I don't even know how we got here. But I don't know how we got here. But the fact of the matter is that you know, the fact that you have such knowledge of your background and what is important to you when you came from the background that you came from. I can tell you right now that I'm someone who came from a household of a mom and dad who were married. We didn't go to church, but up until I was 12 years old, my sun, moon, and stars set on my mom and dad. And when they split, my whole entire world fell apart. And that's where life for me ended. And there is a big blank gap of smoke from the time that happened until I was probably about graduating season of 1992. So I truly respect your memory and your feelings and your empathy and your connection to a life that you personally grounded yourself to. I didn't have that. And when I listened to you talk about your life and what you experienced, I would like to sit over here and say, I had more than you. I had a mom and a dad together with a brother and a sister. And yet, all of the things that I look up to you for, because I look up to you for your experiences and your strength and your religious beliefs and what you experienced. When I look back at my life, I have none of that. I had a normal childhood until I was 12 years old. And then shit hit the fan, and I feel like everything went dark. And I don't know. I don't know how we fucking got here, but I so appreciate the conversation. And it has nothing to do with why we are even on fucking YouTube right now.
No.
But we have 100 listeners plus. So
well, this happened to me when I was very young, and it was just kind of my life. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know anything else. When I was, I think like 20, I was in the military, and I had gotten in trouble for fighting. And it was an underage drinking related incident. It was like my second one. So they sent me to something called NARAD, Naval Addictions Rehabilitation Educate. Like they made me go for like 15 days, and I lived this little place in Camp Pendleton. You do an intake, and like they're asking me all these questions, and like I'm like just explain, tell me about your mother and tell me about your father. My mom's in prison, my dad's in prison. You know what I mean? Just going through the gamut of everything. And like the guy, like after he's done, just some corpsman psych tech, you know what I mean? Just like looks up at me and he goes, "Are you okay?" And it was at that moment that I kind of like it hit me like that wasn't normal. But when I was younger, it didn't occur to me that wasn't normal. You know what I mean? It wasn't until I became an adult and looked back on it that I was like, oh, that wasn't normal. Like most people don't have, 17 different foster parents and 6 different group homes, and they aren't raised by nuns until, their first communion. Like, but it didn't even dawn on me until I had to like put it all out there for someone who'd never existed or lived in that world, that like, oh yeah, no, that wasn't normal. So for me, it's like, what I mean?
And to put it in retrospect with why we're factually here, I look at Libby Herman, and
that's the only thing I can really say about Becky Patty, that I, and I got flack for a long time. But when I was a foster child, like I could have only hoped for someone like Becky Patty to be a family member of mine and come save me the way that she did save, she did save them from foster care. So, I mean, and no child should be in foster care. It's just, I know it's unavoidable, but it should be the absolute last option. Emotionally, it sucks.
Mm-hmm. And I look at the situation, and it breaks my heart that I never wanted to believe that Mike or Becky Patty had any ill intentions. And on the forefront, I don't think they did.
I don't think so either. I think Becky was protecting her family, and it got bigger than her.
To be honest, I
think she thought she could come in and just tell everybody, stop talking about my son, and everybody would.
And see, and you're talking about after the fact.
Yeah.
And that's where shit gets sour for me.
Yeah, that's for me too.
Prior to the fact, I think that Mike and Becky were doing all of the right things when it came to the girls.
I'm not a big fan of them collecting other people's children because they couldn't have any of their own. Just my own experience in like the system. She slips up a couple times and says that she approached Cody's, and the way they got Cody's mom to finally sign off on that adoption was like promise of like health insurance and all this stuff. And like, you can't do that. I mean, I don't know what the laws are in Indiana, but in California, you can't promise anybody anything for their adoption of their child. So.
Well, and this is, and that's a good, what you just raised is a good point, which is why I plan on having Julie on, because I feel like we've all forgotten the real story and who Julie is to this case.
Yeah, and that's how I heard about it. Yeah, that's
a lot of people have forgotten who Julie is to this case and who Cody truly is. But I don't think that Mike and Becky set Libby up for any kind of ill will. Nothing like that.
I don't think that Libby was killed in her bedroom or any of those crazy.
No. You know what? I'm as ridiculous as it sounds, I have entertained the theory simply because I wanted to give everybody a clear, fair shot at examining the possibilities. There is way too much.
Hold on a second. Hold on.
What?
Sorry, he's going to the store and I'm making lemon pepper chicken and my green beans aren't ready to eat. I picked them too early, so I had to have him pick up fresh green beans.
You're fine. You're fine. So I've explored all of the different theories, and the girls being found in the water, the girl Libby being killed in her bedroom, and I wasn't opposed to any of it. But there's evidence.
Yeah.
That proves that that's not the case.
Yeah.
That still does not, for those of you who still want to persuade that theory, just please understand that there's no defense team that's ever going to entertain that. If you want to know the truth of what happened out there in the woods that day, that theory is not going to get you anywhere. However, I do believe that after the girls went missing, the Patties, meaning Mike and Becky, realized that this was, I personally believe, because I've seen tonight in the chat people asking Amy, what do you think? And here I am 2 years in, publicly covering this case. I've been on YouTube for, I think, almost 4 years, starting with Ashley's case. And
it's cold. I gotta put my sweatshirt on. I thought it was hot.
Following this case for 4 years, covering it publicly for 2 years. Doesn't fucking matter. Who cares? Who cares? What I will tell you is that after the girls went missing, Mike and Becky Patty, I believe, realized this truly hits home.
Yeah.
They knew
the moment you have kids, I have kids, they go missing on a trail system that's that windy and stuff, you're worried. But I feel like they panicked really quickly. Maybe I'm just a bad mom. Maybe my like danger sensors are off, but I feel like they panicked very early.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me read this. Amy, you aren't open-minded enough. You need to entertain that the story doesn't go the way some might think. Okay.
I think
Laura,
Amy is one of the most open-minded people.
Laura, I want you to put in the chat how I'm not open-minded and what I need to entertain so the story goes the way that you think it should go.
I will go to some places, but there's some places I just refuse to go. The girls were found in the water. I refuse to go there. The girls were killed
And the
at the
thing
patio.
is that
I refuse to go there. There's places I refuse to go because I know that that's not what the fuck happened at the totality of
here's
the
the thing. Here's the thing, Streets. It's not, and let me back you up on that. It's not a matter of you refuse to go there. I've gone there.
Oh, I know.
And
but
I have, and I have a lot of the phone data, and the phone data and the communications that, I'm sorry,
I refuse to believe
there are things that listen, people in the chat, would you rather know information or not know? And if you would rather not know, then I can't say shit. But I can tell you information that I know. I just can't tell you where it came from. And I'm sorry, that's the fucked up position that I'm in. But I can tell you that there are phone interactions, events, communications, text messages, shit that went on Libby's phone throughout the day, throughout the night of the 12th, into the morning of the 13th, all through the morning of the 13th, up until the girls left to go to the trails. That is undeniable Libby, which means she wasn't dead and murdered in her fucking room. I'm sorry to break it to you, but that's not what transpired.
From what I know about the video, the 43-second video, like, I don't think that that's AI. I don't, like, I'm not going
I don't know. I don't know what, it doesn't even have to be AI. The video itself doesn't have to be AI. Is the video real? Probably. But was it cut and spliced? Maybe. That doesn't fucking make it AI.
Yeah. I mean, we need to look at the video, but
okay, well, you know what? I'm about to fucking lose my shit. Hold on. What'd she say?
You just said two things today. Girls were at the bridge is one. You say refuse to think about anything. You refuse to think anything that you think, not that you know by evidence. I don't know.
That whole statement, I can't even. That it doesn't even fucking make. Am I missing something?
No, I'm confused too.
There's enough evidence that puts the girls at least being dropped off out there at the trails.
So my thing is, okay, we know the girls were dropped off. The timeline that day is skewed, how much it's skewed. My thing is, at this point, where I'm at with what I know, is who was at Ron Logan's the night before? Was there this big party everyone's talking about? Was Brad Holder and Patrick Westphal there?
Okay, but okay, let me back up. We keep talking about this fucking party at Ron Logan's.
The party is the big thing, yeah.
Okay.
I've never seen anybody say I was at a party at Ron Logan's the night before.
I want to know who was at the party. Show me a social media post about the party. Show me a picture of someone being at the party. Otherwise, we are sunk in the water.
And those Finlanders were like, they love taking pictures and flashing their signs. So if they're at a party, I mean, you've got Patrick Westphal taking videos of himself doing some sort of church ceremony. I just feel like there would be something. We would have, I just feel like we would have known, with as small as that town is and as much.
Hey, Streets.
Mm-hmm.
When we see video footage of Ron Logan going to the transfer station and dumping bags of trash, What trash was he dumping?
I've heard it was Ashley Wright's stuff. I've heard because him and Ashley Wright had just broken up, and her and John Osbaugh had just stolen a bunch of his guns, and he couldn't have his truck registered in his name, so she took his truck, and like that was like he was trying to get his truck back. But what I've heard is everything that he was throwing away was Ashley Wright's belongings that were still in his house.
So if I say that the law enforcement officer who brought him in for questioning and sat down with him not once but twice and interviewed him and was able to confirm that the shit in the trash bags that he was throwing away at the transfer station was what he claimed that he threw away, and law enforcement went out, pulled those bags, and verified what was in them. Why are we still discussing that Ron Logan was throwing away trash from a militia gathering that took place on his property, and he was throwing away the trash at the transfer station that day?
I mean, I've heard that, but I've always been under the impression because he was in the middle of a breakup with a very young woman, and I just have always heard that it was Ashley's stuff.
Well, he said it was Ashley's stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have been trust and fucking believe. If there's any proof at all that there was a fucking party, a militia gathering, an Oderness gathering, a ceremony of anything of any kind on Ron Logan's property on the 12th going into the 13th, trust me, I've been well open-minded for that, because that would make everybody's job a lot easier. I just can't find it. And
yeah. They did a lot to keep Ron Logan out of the transcript so he couldn't come up and appeal. So, I don't know.
What is she? Okay, well, you know what, Laura, I can't.
Fox girls.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I think maybe.
You know what? We can sit here and we can argue until we're blue in the face, but until there's evidence that proves
they weren't dropped off,
that proves that the majority of the phone data is incorrect. I mean, all you're doing is spinning your wheels. I'm trying to take the factual data that was presented in court. I have no control over that. I have no way of disputing that other than disputing the documents that were presented. That's all we can do. Now, you can come in the chat and you can scream and cry and scream, somebody's playing foul or someone's not being realistic about what occurred. And the girls weren't dropped off there. They never walked on the trail. They didn't cross the bridge. Been there, done that. I've already looked into all of that. I have tried to prove that theory truthful. I don't know defense-wise how far they went with that theory. However, we have a man convicted of 130 years for a crime that he did not commit. There is a court record. There are pre-trial records. There is a trial record. And now we are in the midst of a direct appeal record. All we can do is argue what's within that record. So do me a favor and stop acting like this is the begin all to the end all of this case.
You're more than welcome, Laura, to explore that on your own and bring us whatever you find. I mean, we're not saying we're going to disregard it, but for you to put it on Amy that she's not researching or taking into account your pet theory, give her the information that you want her to know, but don't be here and saying you're not doing this and you're not doing that. Give her the information. Let her look at it. But just because it's your pet theory and she doesn't agree with you doesn't mean you can come into her chat and tell her that she's wrong and closed-minded. That's,
you know what, I telling me I'm wrong is one thing. Okay, I can accept that.
Rizzo had a question.
I'm probably wrong about a lot of things. However, telling me I'm closed-minded is the furthest from the truth.
She gets in trouble because she's too open-minded sometimes with some people. But okay, so Rizzo asked about the biker thing and how many bikers showed up a couple days after the girls. And I have actually thought about this before. So, mind you, my experience in all of this in that world is a long time ago. And I wasn't, I mean, I was just a chick who thought bikers were hot. Like I wasn't in that world. I did date a president once, but anyways, that response, I don't know about the Midwest or, you know, with social media and everything being the way that it is now, it seems severe. To me, in my experience in that world, it felt like that was like daddy was a biker type response. Not just like two random girls who they did. I mean, obviously someone within that world put that together and made that happen. It's usually reserved, something like that is reserved for like a family member. So I don't know why or how that happened. I also am not familiar with clubs in the Midwest. I mean, I'm not familiar with how, you know, it runs now with social media. I mean, I've seen biker. I mean, I looked up Help Angels in Denver and they have their own fucking Instagram page. So I mean, back in the day, there's no fucking way that would go down. So and I had daddy issues, so I didn't ride with HA that much. I was more of a Mongols or Vagos girl, which created problems for me. But
hold on. Here we go. Why would they use a proof of life video that's been tampered with and time wasted on if the girls were alive? I don't know.
Proof of life? The fuck are you?
Proof of,
I mean, I'm not getting into these fucking proof of life conversations with people. That's already a road that's been gone down, and there were walls along the way.
It's not a video that we agreed with. It's not a video that we ever supported. It's a video that was held hostage by law enforcement for years and then presented at trial. All we have is what has been put forth to the jury and made public. All we can do is dissect it. That's what we've been doing. What are you talking about? A proof of life video? Jesus
No
Christ.
one called it a proof of life video until fucking old boys started saying it. So after everything I've learned in the past month, I'm not even walking down. I'm not walking through that door. Fuck off. Sorry.
Like these girls met their demise some way, somehow. And I am pretty confident after every fucking hour of research that I have done that it happened on the 13th. When, where, how, and who, I don't know. But the girls were abducted on the 13th from the Monon High Bridge trails. When, where, I don't know. I have been saying that for months. We have been arguing and fighting tooth and nail about the phone data, the Apple Health data, all of the above. But until I have access to real discovery and real documentation of what the state provided to the defense, all I can do is argue with what we have factually available, period. I'm not a lawyer.
I want to see the geofence.
Huh?
I think the geofence would be helpful. I want to know who was
Yeah,
around.
we
I
all
want to know
believe.
who was around those girls. I mean, we've looked at the phone data of what they were doing. Now I want to know of who was around them while that was going on.
And you know what? All I can say is that I have not spent. I haven't. I have not spent. Here, I'm gonna cry because it upsets me so much. When I started out on this case, I never anticipated tomorrow being unofficially our 45th episode of The Vault.
Hmm?
That does not include special episodes. It doesn't include special members only. We're probably in the upward of realistically above 50 episodes. Do you know how much time and effort and research that takes? How much dedication and work that goes into that takes? And that's not because I believe the state. It's not because I believe that Abby and Libby just happenstance crossed paths with a man by the name of Rick Allen, who decided on a whim to cross a bridge and unalive them for absolutely fucking no reason. I have put a, and not just me, not just me. There's been 100 other people who have participated, provided information, streets, including you, early on, Quester, Fungi, uh, Critical Thinker, April, Julie Melvin. There's been so many people who have contributed to this journey that I refuse to take credit for all of it. However, if there's any explanation for how these girls were unalived and who did it, trust and believe I will entertain any idea. And if I meet the brick wall and I say, okay, I can't go any further, this doesn't take me to who actually committed this crime, that's all I can do.
I have emotionally and mentally given up. I can't see anything. God damn, I'm fucking old. I have emotionally and mentally given up on figuring out who actually did it. At this point, my heart and soul is just proving who didn't do it, and that's Rick Allen. You know?
And that's what I've had to learn how to argue the evidence in this case. I thought for a long time that I could prove who did it.
I mean, I think everyone, we wouldn't be here if we didn't think we could figure it out. No one wants to go and jump into an unsolvable puzzle. But like at this point, I've gotten to like, we're end of trial, we're in appeals, and I've gotten to like we've gotten all the edges on, we've got most of the puzzle put together, and you start to realize, well, there's pieces missing. Like whoever put this puzzle together before didn't put it back right. You know what I mean? So just gotta, but eventually you just gotta put the puzzle together, even with the pieces missing, and just understand there's pieces missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and hope it doesn't completely affect the integrity of the puzzle.
And I think that's what we've done a really good job of is continuing to shine a light on the missing areas, especially with the phone data, because I feel the phone data is going to, in the future, be a stronghold part of Rick Allen's defense. If you truly bring in and I'm not saying that Eldridge is not an expert, but she was limited. She wasn't given full access to everything. She was only asked to do certain things. I would hope that going forward, that a forensic phone data expert, completely unaware of the case, be brought in and be allowed to examine all of the phone data, all the way from the 12th through the finding of the phone and let them give their full, complete analysis is different than what we've seen at trial.
Hey, when my boyfriend walks in the door, I'm gonna have to get off and go start making dinner. Or I was on here.
I have to go make dinner too. I'm late. I have fruit.
And I went too long, and I got a fucking earful when I went to bed. Then
I have a whole bowl of fruit in my kitchen sink. I went to the store today to get all this stuff to make a cobbler, and it's still sitting down there. And the last time I went down, he covered it with foil. Like, bitch, you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
We had one of our chickens butchered, so I'm making lemon pepper chicken. And then, hey, you know what? That's why the fuck we have them. They're not goddamn pets. Everybody works here. Everybody works here. Even the cats work. The cats catch mice. The chickens. I mean, it's a ranch. It's a working ranch. Everybody fucking works here. So we're eating one of my chickens tonight.
Okay. I gotta go. We're not friends. I gotta go.
And
we
then,
don't eat
like I said,
pets.
everybody fucking works
We
here.
don't eat pets.
We had a wonderful. They're not pets. They're not pets. I mean, we have.
If they're in your backyard, they're a pet.
There's a rooster that we keep as a pet that like we love and play with. But we have like
a rooster.
Chickens. We have roosters. I have goats. I've got like 20 chickens in a pen, and sometimes it's just getting to be too much, and some of them are getting really fat because we feed them well, and so
you feed them well to make them full and fat so you can kill them.
Every spring we pick 3 and we butcher them, and we eat those bitches throughout the summer.
Okay, I'm gonna need 7.
We also want to know what else we do.
Hours
want to know what else we do? We buy little baby calves and we raise them, but we raise them in like we do roping and barrel, all the rodeo stuff. And then when they get nice and big and we need to get new calves because they're too big to move fast anymore.
You said you get new cats?
New calves, cows.
Cats, like you're killing
cows. Like we get baby cows and we raise them and we run them through straights and stuff like that. And then when they get too big and are too slow, we butcher them. Dude. And we get new calves. And
run, nigga, run!
Rinse, cycle, repeat. Rinse, cycle, repeat.
Oh my god! No!
It's free range. They're not being fed antibiotics. They're not being fed antibiotics. They're free range. The meat is healthy. It's absolutely perfect. You eat your cows. I mean, what do you think people do with cows? They eat their cows. That's what you do with a cow is you eat it.
You know what?
And what do you do? Just let it get old and die?
You're right. You're absolutely right.
It lives a very good life up until the point where we butcher it. I mean, we slaughter it, but like
I could never pet
it. Has a really good life. It eats the best food. We love some good fat cows.
Hi, honey. I love you. You're so fucking cute. I can't wait to have you on my plate.
Did you ever take FFA as a kid? You've got to kill your pig at the end of the day. If you don't sell your pig for slaughter,
you know what? I understand. I agree. You're right.
I'm not running a fucking penny.
I can eat it on my plate if I don't know who and where killed it. I guess
it's better when you do know, because you know exactly what that cow ate. Like one of the reasons why girls are starting their periods at like 8 years old now is because we're feeding them all of the antibiotics. We give cows antibiotics and a bunch of stuff to make them big as fast as possible. And then we put that in our food supply. And now our children are obese and our little girls are starting their periods at like 8 years old. And it is a direct reflection of what you're talking about, like these cows that are in these troughs their whole life being fed antibiotics and all of these fucking drugs. And we are consuming that. We eat that. Like we're eating antibiotics. I mean, and so when you raise your own, you're not getting that. I'm already crazy enough with my own chemicals. I don't need fucking weird ass cow chemicals thrown in too.
I just want the cows to live forever. I just want to make them all pets. I'm not into like I love you.
Hey,
love I just,
it's
you know what?
life is
I
life,
could
and food is food, and I'm
I
eating
can
good
eat
food. It's good
produce,
for me. I don't have to worry about what
anything where
weird
you
ass
are
antibiotic some
is
dairy or
considered
some
a
cattle dude bought in Mexico and is feeding his fucking cows. And like now I'm gonna eat that beef and I'm going to then feed that beef to my family. And God knows what those dudes are putting in their cows. And then
no, I'm gonna love
my
and
cows
hug
are
and
pure.
pet my
They
cow,
eat
and then
they
I'm gonna slaughter him. And
I'm just saying, and what shut up, Kayla. Shut up. Grow the fuck up. This is what happens. What do you think they have cows for? Do you think those cows that I mean, why do you think there's cows? There's cows that eat them. I'm just doing it in a more like safe and healthy way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's the circle of life.
Please.
What, do you go to Walmart and buy beef? Bitch, I heard you caught cooking snow crab legs the other night. How do you think the fuck those snow crabs got on your table?
I just said,
Someone
shut your
killed it.
mouth.
Someone killed
I
that
just
cow.
said, I just said, I agree with what you're saying. Just hearing it out loud by someone I know is
Hey, when
hard.
you come see me, I'm gonna feed you some of that fucking cow.
I just don't want to see it happen. I don't want to see it happen. I can't see it happen. I cannot see
I
it
don't see
happen.
it happen. I don't slaughter the cow myself. We send it out and it comes back in little packages.
Yeah, but if I knew that I had petted that baby and I had talked to him and I said, "Oh, you're such a good boy,"
Just don't name it. Just call him cow. I mean, I just named that. I just call them cow. Hey, cow.
Cow.
We
Cow.
named one. Madison, we had this one black cow with like this weird thing on its head that was like furry, and Madison named it Blaze. Blaze lasted a couple of summers, but finally Blaze just
butchered him.
but Blaze only lasted as long as he did because someone named him.
Shut the fuck up! You're. I would be losing my mind. I'm like, no, Blaze cannot die. Blaze is the exception to the fucking rule. Blaze cannot die, and you let Blaze get hacked.
Blaze became lame and had to be put down anyways. He stepped on a gate and like broke his hoof, and it got really bad. And so we didn't eat him though, but we put him down. We did have to put him down.
You put him down, but you didn't eat him?
We did not eat him. We had him properly disposed.
So is he stuffed?
Which is expensive. It costs a lot of money to have an animal that you can't bury it in your backyard. It's against the law.
Okay, so in a case like that, where you are, I guess the real word is butchering cows. If you have one that accidentally falls into a situation that needs to be put down, why would you have not eaten him? Was it because it wasn't
the situation? Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we didn't. I guess we probably could have, but we just didn't. At that point, we had just put a lot of money into making him better, and he just didn't get better. Or she, sorry, didn't get better.
Blaze was a she.
All cows are she's.
Okay.
But we put him down, and then you hire a service, and they come in and they put it on. I call him because his name was Blaze, and like they're all girls. Okay. You give them boy and girl personalities sometimes, but like
so explain. Okay, because I don't know. I would love to live on a farm. I'm way too old to live on a farm.
I live on a ranch.
Okay, fuck you with your ranch.
I raise animals, not food.
So you say because
animals are food, but I don't.
A cow is a female.
Yeah, all cows are girls. A heifer,
And
yeah.
so males are bulls, correct?
Bulls, yeah. Yeah.
So do they fall in the same category as the females when it comes to slaughter? Or do you keep males because they are breeding?
So I don't have bulls. I've never had bulls. It's just like with my barn, like I can only have one stud. All of the other males are gelded. Um
What's gelded
it,
mean?
they're castrated. They not castrated, but they're not they don't work. And then we have one stud who, who does work. And
So
then
if you have one male stud,
mhm.
he okay, so
And he
like
runs that shit. Those are all his bitches. Even the men, like even the geldings, like but you can't put the stud near. I mean, it's one stud. He's in the front stall, like pretty much by himself. He did get out one time, and it was very. I mean, because we brought a new mare in, and she immediately went into heat because of him. And then he somehow got out of his stall, and I was standing in the house. I'm looking right now through the window, and I looked through the window, and I saw him like in the middle of the barn, and I was like, "Is that a horse in the middle of the barn?" So I went out there, and it was pornographic what I saw. And I had to get him back into
so on a 12-month period, like for
Mhm.
right now, this is May. When is
Mhm.
breeding season?
So it's different we don't a lot of these horses aren't ours. Like we rent the
Okay, I
stalls.
know I'm talking about the cows and the bull, not
No,
horses.
no, I know. So with horses, it's there's not really like a season. You know what I mean? It's kind of like they go into heat. When they go into heat, some mares go into heat once or twice a year. Some go into heat once or twice. I mean, I wouldn't say a month, but like we have one mare who's always in heat. She's always.
So is it like I've groomed, bred all different variety of dogs, and it's based on when they're born. They usually come in heat within 9 to 12 months, and then it's about every 6 months after. So depending on when a female is born, they come into heat based on how old they are. Is that kind of how it works with horses?
No. So I mean, I have my own horses, and that's kind of how it was with them. There's other females here where that's not how it is with them, and I don't know why. So so I know it's not a broad stroke, like that's how it always is. But I mean, you probably could be right. I'm just going based on like what I know here, and we also have lots of horses that perform rodeo. So they're like going out and then getting like the pheromones of other horses and then bringing that back here. So it
varies.
Yeah. I mean, and so, we have new horses come in, a mare go in, and then a mare go out, and then a new mare come in. And then there's a whole.
So for the cows, the female cows who are doing nothing but waking up every day, going out to the field in the pasture, eating, doing nothing exciting other than waiting to be brought back into the barn. What is their heat cycle?
I don't know. Our calves, we don't really have them long enough to learn their heat cycles, and they're not around a bull. So I'm not that experienced of a rancher. I'm sure. I mean, my boyfriend's daughter literally went to college and has a master's degree in like ranching, and she raises like Wagyu cattle up in Northern California. It's really pretty up there. But like, she could probably answer all of these questions for you. She's like a real cowgirl. Like, if I could show you, like, there's pictures and buckles on a wall right here. So like, she's like the real thing. I'm just a city girl who got some horses and lives on her. You know what I mean?
No, I think that your information is fantastic.
But
And I
there's a lot that I don't know. Like there's a lot that I don't know. And also I also like you could probably ask my boyfriend. He would, he actually deals with that stuff. I work 50, 60 hours a week. I'm here in the morning. I feed in the morning. I scoop, I ride, but like all of those details like are taken care of by other people. And like most of those horses belong to other people. So like I'll know they're in heat because Canelo the stud starts acting like a jerk and like, you know what I mean? That's the only way I know, but I don't know why or who or like when, you know what I mean? I just know it's happening because of the way that like the other horses are behaving. I probably should know more. I'm not as educated as I should be probably, but that's what I do know. And I probably got some of it wrong, honestly. But
that's fine. We all get things wrong, but I was just curious. I love, I'm an animal lover, a true.
And I don't want anyone to think that I'm not. Like, I love animals. I have a dog that I adore. We have cats. I love my horses. I love my cows while they're here. I love them dearly.
See, that's just the thing. Like,
care of them.
you know what? Kudos to you. And I know that the life cycle of us humans depend on it. I get it, and I don't judge you. I don't.
It's really good.
I don't judge
like
anybody. I just can't.
It's very healthy. It's a very healthy way to eat and be. And like, I can't do it all year round. Like I said, we only do 3 chickens in the spring. And then they last
she said, we eat the ones we love.
Exactly. That's what a good farm girl should say. Like,
absolutely. I get it.
And I know that people don't like it. And I know it seems barbaric. And I know I seem like a fucking raging bitch right now.
No, you're not. Absolutely not. I was just wanting to know how it worked, and I probably shouldn't have brought it up.
When you come visit me in October, I'm going to make you a big, like, thick tomahawk steak.
Listen, and I love steak. I do, and I know where it comes from.
And you will taste
I just don't want to pet the person that it came from.
You will taste the difference, and you will understand why I do what I do. I promise you. I'll even save you some chicken from our yeah, and you will understand then why I do what I do. So it's really good. Yeah. It's very good.
Well,
it's very healthy. Like, I'm not getting all those preservatives and antibiotics and hormones that they put in the cows to make them as big as possible, as quickly as possible. So, I mean, that's why we have, that's why our country's obese right now. Like, we're not supposed to be eating and taking those hormones. I mean, look at our society.
I see you. Critical thinking is like, wait, what? You're going to visit Streets in October? I want to go.
Okay, yeah. Come on out.
Yeah.
I got the guest room, and then we have the guest apartment. You guys can share that. And you have your own kitchen, mudroom, garden. It's perfect.
I do. Yeah. Okay. You don't have to explain anymore. I love you. You're a good person. You're a good farm mom.
I'm not a bad person. It is a
you're not at all. And you know what? If I had a farm, and I think I would eventually have to adhere to what is required.
I'm still really liberal. I'm just one of those weird liberals that kind of lives like a Republican, but I'm not a Republican. You would think, looking at me from the outside, that I was like this, MAGA chick, but like I'm as liberal as they come. So
yeah,
I'm the only one. I'm like the only one.
Okay, that makes me nervous.
Yeah, so only in this like small. I mean, but I also like Michael Jackson's baby mama lives like one street over, and then like El Chapo's baby mama lives over there. So it's not too bad.
Wait, what?
So El Chapo has never mind. Where I live is what they call them like gentleman ranches. And so like people who are city people like me who want to escape the city and have like a nice, easy ranch. You know what I mean? Like I'm not living on like acres and acres. I'm 5 acres. You know what I mean? With the easements and the horse trails, it probably comes out to like 7. But we have like lots of us around me, like 7-acre plots of land where we all run our own little gentleman ranches. And so I've got like Michael Jackson's baby mama lives like right up the street. She has her own little like ranch. And then El Chapo has a baby mama. He had twins with her and they live right over there. They have their own little ranch and they're like little, it's from the 80s. Back in the 80s, this was like the spot, like the place to be. So we have lots of like weird old money people around here. Like it's not like new flashy money like down the hill in like Beverly Hills and Hollywood and stuff. We've got like old weird money, like people that wanted to get away from everything and just buy like their own little like spot. You know what I mean? We're called White Fence Farms. It's unusual, but it's cool. I'm like 5 minutes from the freeway, but I'm also like in my own like little desert ranch. You know what I mean? So it's a weird duality for sure. But it's cool. I like it. It's a nice little life. My cows and my chickens that I eat. You eat cows and chickens too.
I do.
You just didn't raise them.
I just didn't pet them.
Have you seen the way that those animals are raised? You have a video on your fucking YouTube channel about how horribly those animals
were abused. The purpose of the video was to show how they were abused.
I have 3 cows, and they are treated so well, and they're loved, and little kids pet them, and they're given all the treats that they could ever want. They have as much hay and grain as they could ever possibly want. They are the best treated cows in Los Angeles County, probably. So, I mean, you should appreciate that I'm giving them a good life before.
And all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
okay. I don't want to talk about it no more. I really don't. Because I know where the food comes from. I know where the steak comes from. I know where the chicken comes from. I know where it all comes from. I just don't want to pet them before they end up on my plate. And
at least they get to get pet.
It sucks. And if you're giving them a wonderful life and
to have a nice life here, much better than those like slaughterhouse cows have. I promise you, their life is very good here. Haven't you ever heard the Happy Cows in California commercial?
No.
We've got happy cows in California because we have happy milk and happy cheese. Happy cows come from California. It's a commercial. Sorry.
If I was a millionaire and I could do whatever I wanted to do, to be honest, I would visit the Humane Society at least once a month and pick the ugliest animal that has been there the longest and bring it home.
Did you hear about the Diane Warren cow?
No.
The Diane Warren, she's the songwriter. She sang like, she wrote like a bunch of the songs from like the like How Do I Live and stuff like that. Anyways, there was a cow that like jumped off a cattle truck and like was like running around and ran into a field and they couldn't catch it forever and they like wanted to slaughter it and she rescued it and brought it to her cow rescue. That's right, like right up the road. So I mean, I like those cows. I wouldn't slaughter those ones.
I just have, I've just always like, when I coached competitive cheer all those years, I've thought about here in the last couple of years, because I know that I disappointed a lot of people, a lot of kids, a lot of young adults when I closed my gym. They were just completely shocked. Like, oh my God, Coach Pep is closing. Are you kidding me? And I've thought about doing even like renting out a place, like a restaurant or somewhere where we had a banquet, like to reconnect. Because I like literally, at least on a monthly basis, I have 2 or 3 athletes who reach out like, hey, Amy, how are you doing? I miss you so much. I just want you to know the impact that you had on my life. So with all of that being said, I've always had a part of me that has just wanted to touch or reach out to somebody who needed help. And I have found throughout my entire life that's most capable through animals, because I don't have to deal with the human anatomy. I don't have to deal with parents. I don't have to deal with past, present, or future issues. Animals are innocent creatures who are put on this earth that have no control over
Yeah, and
how they got here.
I 100% agree with. I love animals. Like I truly do. And my horses are very well taken care of and very well loved.
They
And
look
like
like it. They look like
and
it.
they're very spoiled. Like
They
they're
do.
so
I can see
spoiled.
it.
Like I have a reputation of having misbehaved horses because they're so spoiled.
Yeah.
So it is a choice based on personal beliefs, you know, about
and I'm not judging any farmer or anybody that.
in my feeling, I'm actually helping cows because I'm not contributing to the mass farm industry. Like I do it the way we have been doing it for generations upon generations in our country, and I'm not contributing to like this mass produced beef. I feel like it's better for the environment, it's better for the species to do it this way.
Mhm.
That's my opinion.
You know what? I here's the crazy thing. I envy your position. I envy you having access to all the different variety of animals.
It's a lot of work. It's very
I
expensive too.
can only imagine.
It's a very expensive hobby. Horses are, don't even get me started, just the hay alone, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
I envy your experience with having access to all of that. I don't envy the decisions on the other side of.
I'm not even involved in those decisions 99.9% of the time. The only time
I couldn't do it.
The only time I've ever been involved in a decision to put an animal down, and it happened
love you, Indy. Good night.
Love you, Indy.
Got it. Love you.
I had a horse get really sick and colic, and we had to put it down, and that was very sad. Like the way that it's done is very humane, though. It's quick and it's painless, and yeah, my boyfriend's home. Oh, he brought me flowers. Let me see my flowers.
Oh, he is the #1 man right now. Oh. Let me see. Oh, wow. So pretty. Now you got to get off.
I know I got to go. I got to go make lemon pepper chicken and green beans and potatoes.
I love you.
I love you too.
How sweet.
Oh, I know. That's one of the cool things about dating an older man is he's still very like traditional and like just like old school. Like it's very old school. I'm very much treated like a lady. I love it.
That's awesome. I love it.
He cusses sometimes in front of me, but he gets mad when other men cuss a lot in front of me. So stuff like that.
What do you say?
I said, "What are you doing, doggy?" Tilly's very excited that he's home.
Is she?
That's her man. That's her man.
Wow.
And and the thing about him too is animals and kids, like they're instantly attracted to him, and that's how you know he's good people. Like everywhere we go, if there's an animal or a child, they're instantly just like all over him. It's very cool.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. He's a very good man. I've never been more taken care of. And the thing about it is, it's cool is I can take care of myself. You know what I mean? But I'm very well taken care of. So very lucky.
So happy for you. And tell him, give him a hug and a kiss for me.
Forever. Like also, like I have a very short attention span, and so we've been together in my world a very long time. So I think this one's gonna stick.
Tell him
Hopefully.
I will be there soon.
Yes, come visit me. I gotta go start marinating the chicken, and I have to let the beans steep for like 2 hours. So if I don't, even if I start now, dinner's still not gonna be ready till 7.
You still have time. Here it's 8:08 p.m.
Oh, you're in trouble, bitch. You better go sex and dick.
I'm gonna go fix that cobbler. So, all right. I love you. Thanks everybody for being here. I'll talk to you tomorrow or later tonight.
Bye, everybody. Love you lots. Bye bye.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.